Welcome to Love to See It, a podcast about double standards that are actually insane.
And men who can talk a big game until they see their own words and actions in 4K.
It's movie night, bitches. This week on Love Island, episodes 20 to 25 take us from the hell of Casa Chaos to the deeper hell of movie night misery. And before we dive in, we want to do a little housekeeping. As you know, Emma is now on maternity leave, and you just heard the beautiful voice of our guest co host for the duration of her leave, Leigh Blickley. If you've been listening for a while, you'll remember her from both of my maternity leaves. Leigh is really one of the team, and we're so excited to have her back. I'm excited to actually get to be here for all of your recaps this time.
I know, this is so exciting for me. We get to chat, and I feel like I'm coming out of the shadows of the speakeasy, sincere-esque, just trying to figure out how to cover Love Island episodes in bulk.
Exactly. You're like sincere. You're like in the thick of Love Island, really playing both sides. Like,
oh, you know me.
exactly.
Yeah, always.
So if you missed our earlier recaps of Love Island USA, you can scroll back in the feed. Also, we moved Rich Text over to Patreon recently, and my most recent episode was a conversation with the journalist Stephanie McNeil about the Jenny Mullen boy mom discourse. Also, Stephanie's interview with Ballerina Farm's Hannah Nealman. So we had a lot of fun on both those topics. You can find that conversation and more at patreon.com/richtext. And with all of that having been said, we got to dive in. We've got an 18-page doc. This week was off the chain. Like there's too much. I'm unwell.
And we are both like severe note takers. So the two of us combined, it was just 15 pages of notes a night.
I kept being like, it'll be okay. We're just making a big slab of marble and then we're going to carve it into a statue of a note stock. And I think I cut a page and a half. Like, we're going to try to move quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with episode 20. Casa Amor continues after the Wednesday break, and something I really noticed was how striking the gender divide has continued to be, despite how much the producers are desperately trying to throw information in the women's faces to get them to explore. The women are still comporting themselves more respectfully than the men.
In seasons past, I feel like there's been like a camaraderie between the men and the women. And this season in particular, they're completely divided. They act completely differently. The men, when they are let loose from the women, I'm just grossed out. I really am. I can't even. There's just too much to discuss before we get to movie night. But the movie night really showed me their character. Like it really helps you remember how different these men are moving in the villa.
100%. Like, I think one thing that we're seeing more than ever is the way that in these, like, in patriarchal societies and settings, something that is often the women's role is to kind of civilize and domesticate the men. And when they're separated, that all goes out the window. They don't have any internal compass or sense of like how respectful they should be or what kinds of obligations they have to other people. Some people have noted, I miss this, that the OG boys in Casa are not making breakfast for the Casa girls.
Yeah, they
Like,
just don't
we don't
care.
have to do it. Yeah, they'll do anything for us. So like, whatever, we'll just
they can
not
make
do
their
it.
own pancakes.
They're also doing a lot of making out and feeling up the Casa girls in bed at night. Meanwhile, the Villa girls are just trying to encourage each other to explore and be open because they keep seeing that that's what their guys are doing. But they're keeping it pretty tidy. Like, Kenzie is the only one really fooling around in bed. And she knows that Corbin has dumped her already. So she's single.
And it's Kenzie. That's how Kenzie's always operated. You know, she's down to explore. Where the other girls are like, let's take this chance to keep it going. Let's see if we have any connections.
Trinity starts sleeping in soul ties because she misses Bryce, which is so sweet. Meanwhile, Bryce is not sleeping in it, but there's no soul ties in Casa. I don't know where he would sleep, but what he can do is cross his arms over his chest like a vampire so that he can't accidentally touch Sydney. So they are trying to explore. Gall tells Jen he wants to chat with Kenzie as well. And Kenzie is really open to that because she likes men exactly like Gall, apparently. She likes an older man. She likes a surfer. These are all apparently very important types of hers that she has never mentioned before.
Yeah, I thought she was into cowboys, but now we're into baristas,
Yeah.
surfers who make espresso martinis.
I feel that she weaponizes the idea of someone being her type to a T, which is the Love Island lingo, in a way I've never seen before, where instead of just casting everyone aside because they're not her type, she will look at any guy and be like, he's my type more than anyone else. It's a type I've never mentioned before, and it's different from the last guy I just said was my type, you know?
I just love
She's like,
all
finally, a
kinds of
surfer.
guys.
Yeah, you can just say that. You don't
Because
need to like
Corbin
pick out
is,
each new guy.
yeah, Corbin is definitely a surfer type, you know?
Yeah, and a cowboy. She talks to Gull and he says he could take her on a date in California. He suggests a martini at sunset, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't really like martinis, but I could do an espresso martini." Melanie and Trinity talk to Jen, who is really hurt that Gull wants to talk to Kenzie because she wants a man who's obsessed with her.
Mhm.
And sure, he clearly isn't. And the problem is that Jen is not interested in anyone else. So she can keep being like, I want a man who's obsessed with me. It could not be more obvious that he's not obsessed with her, but she has no
No.
other options.
Yeah, since Gabe left, Jen's really sort of flailing in the villa, and I feel bad for her, but at least she has self-confidence. I have to say that woman never puts herself down. She keeps it pretty cool, and she
Yeah.
just trusts herself. She's like, I'm better than all these guys. I'm good. I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
This can be a little bit off putting at times. Like, there's a moment when she tells Ronnie that she's frustrated because she's used to guys just drooling over her and she
Mm.
doesn't know how to navigate life without that. And I'm always a little bit I struggle to sympathize with that. I
Oh, you don't see that men drool all over you, Claire?
I'm like that's you're learning how to also have to kind of have a little bit of a hustle out there. You
Yeah,
also have to flirt and have a personality. I don't feel bad for you. But
but she's
it's fair.
hot. She's hot, Claire.
At least she feels confident about how hot she is, and I love that. So a divide has also appeared, like, not just between the genders, but I think among the Villa boys.
Mm.
And I don't want to say it's the good guys and the bad guys because pretty much all of them suck in different ways. But there are a group of guys who actually like and miss their partners in the villa. And they seem to be not totally vibing with how gross Casey and Corbin are being. They're giving a little side eye to some of the comments. Corbin and Casey are having to huddle together in secret to talk shit.
Those
They're
two really they're unhinged. They are unhinged in Casa. They just
it's
take it to a
wild.
new level where I feel like somebody like Bryce, who is
Mm,
really, he tries his best. He really respects the women. He cares for Trinity so deeply. He treats the women with respect. To see those two kind of just like go off the rails, I feel like he noticed
yeah.
that too.
I feel like Bryce's biggest flaw, and I think this is Caleb too, is that he just wants to be one of the guys and the balance of the group is the wrong way. Like most of the guys are down to lie to the women, to talk shit about them, and Corbin and Casey especially have enough like swagger that they can make it feel like that is the tone and everyone else just falls silent.
Yeah.
That really bothers me. It's really important for men to be checking this kind of disrespect toward women and they're not doing it because they want to feel like they're not the loser or like
Yeah, like they're included, which is all the
yeah,
women have been trying to tell them is that you could have moved in a totally different way where you still respected us. And
right.
you know, they're a family at this point. Like
Yeah,
have some respect for the women. And
right.
those two just did not at all.
Yeah. They keep having these like little disgusting boy coffee clatches where they sit down and they're like, "Oh, so what nasty shit are we going to say about the Villa girls today?" Corbin's like, "The Villa girls are like high school girls and the Casa girls are like college girls." It's hard not to feel like this is like a sexual comment about how sexually available they are because like what like they're constantly making these backhanded like, oh, they're more open, oh, they're more understanding, oh, they're more chill. It all just means I get to hook up with them and no one hassles me about it.
Yeah. But then Corbin, you know, of course, says Melanie plus challenges equals disaster. As if, like, oh,
Yeah.
see, she only puts out during challenges. But when it comes to inside the villa, she doesn't give us what we want.
Well, that's the crazy thing is that they're both slut shaming her for how crazy she gets in challenges and then they're like the women they're not open enough.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Literally slut shaming and calling them frigid in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Casey says that he and TT have gotten further in 2 days than he and Anaya have in 3 weeks. I hope he means an emotional intimacy, but from the way he's moving, it really seems like he means hitting those bases.
Hmm.
And Corbin says he hasn't thought about Kenzie once, and they both laugh. And like, it's fine if he really doesn't care about Kenzie or hasn't thought about her. It's just like the contempt,
Yes.
It's like,
There's a
why would
way
I
to
think
be
about
like, you know
her?
what? Interestingly enough, I haven't really thought about Kenzie, but I'm gonna
Right.
like keep exploring my connection with Parmita and just see how it all plays out. But no, he has to put in like, puts the knife in, twists it. And then you guys know you're being filmed, so you should assume that this footage might air in the future. Like,
Did they think that they wouldn't get a movie night because they canceled it last year? Like, this is a staple of the
yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Island.
Maybe they did. Maybe they're like, "Oh, they don't do that anymore."
Oh, God. I mean, they didn't seem prepared for it, but I do think men on these shows are just dumb and don't remember that normal parts of the format happen. Sincere, Zach, and Bryce are on the other side of this slight fracture in the villa, guys. They're hanging out more so that they can gaze at the villa longingly and admit that they actually like their original partners a little bit. Sincere tells Zach that he's built a good connection with Amora, and she's, quote, saying all the right things, doing all the right things, making him feel good. He says it's like she can read his mind, whereas he and Melanie have had so many ups and downs.
Hmm.
Like, first of all, you're describing Amora having watched you on TV and knowing exactly what to say to get what she wants out of you, which is the job of the Casa boys and girls.
Yes.
And then you're describing Melanie having emotional reactions to you gaslighting her for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, why do you think she's reacting this way, Sincere? Does it have anything to do with you? And maybe your word choices or just the
Right.
way. Oh my God, Sincere. It's hard for me to think back to this episode now after seeing
Right.
last night, but it's very clear that he is severely unaware of how he moves in the villa and how Melanie is sort of catching on.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Sincere is like there. Like, are you seeing what you've been doing? That's how I feel. I'm just like, you've been in the room with all your conversations. Like, you know what you're telling Soul, and you know what
Yeah.
you're telling Amora, and you know what you're telling Melanie, and you're pretty much telling them the same things. So of course
Yeah.
Melanie is kind of seeing that and reacting to it, but it's all because of you. It's all because of what you're doing to her.
Yeah, I feel like there are a couple things going on here. One, I think, is that the boys seem to have the idea that the women have no right to criticize them for things that they didn't see with their own eyes. So if he was promising things to Soul, but Melanie didn't see that, then how could she possibly have any reaction to what was going on? This is insane. Like, women can pick up on what's happening based on smaller clues than her seeing your exact words to this other woman or how much you made out with her own eyes. Like, she can still tell that you're lying. The other thing is that I think he and Casey are like kind of two sides of the same coin where they have a mask of kindness and like good guy charm. And then they have like this dark, uncaring side. They just present that differently. Like Casey had a very coherent, nice guy mask until it started to drop more and more as he got into the villa. Now it's to Casa. Now it's completely dropped. Sincere just like is so sweet and nice, and it's almost like he doesn't even see his own dark side.
No, because his name is Sincere. He just
Right.
feels like this is who I am. Like,
Right.
where
How could you call
where
me two-faced? I'm
Casey has
sincere.
accepted he's really like entered his dark side. He doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit, which is a problem. Where Sinceria is like aloof to the fact that he might not be the best guy.
Yeah. It's almost like he's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde where his body is doing and his mouth is saying these things and like his consciousness doesn't know. Like I don't
Yeah,
believe that he doesn't know, but that's how he behaves.
he lets his
It's
hair
very
down
weird.
and he's completely different. Sincere is
I know.
two-faced, as the
That's
women would say.
so Corbin and Parmita are continuing to explore, and they have an extremely bizarre chat about how compatible they are. That is really just all about how hot they both are. Corbin says he knew when he saw her that they would have this connection because, quote, You're hot, I'm hot, I have to pursue this. And she's like, yeah, your body is perfect. I can't find a flaw. And he's like, you too. We're the same person.
We're the same person because we are just flawlessly hot. We are the hottest people here. So, of course, we have to couple up.
Right. I was getting alarmed. I was like, I think they both think that how hot they are just is who they are. Like, I don't think they have a sense of self outside of how hot they are. What are they going to do when they're older and they're starting to sag?
I don't know, because there's like a true connection here, remember? And Corbin
Oh,
says
yeah.
the maturity level with Kenzie just wasn't there, but it's here. It's with
Yeah.
Parmita. And
Right. And that maturity level is the ability to have a conversation where you sit down with your new girlfriend and you're like, Sometimes when I looked at my ex, I'd see something wrong and it would just give me the ick."
it's like,
What?
what?
You're
Yeah, but
you're
when he looks at
analyzing
Parmita,
her
everything
appearance,
is just
Parmita?
perfection.
Oh, the maturity of looking perfect is
Yeah.
what he's looking for. Sincere is still exploring Amora. He asks her for something about her no one would know, and she says that she did baton twirling in secret, I guess. No one knew.
No one knew.
He says that he knows ASL. I think that he minored in it, actually, and shows her how to sign her name. He does not appear to be confident about how to sign A.
Yeah, he goes, A?
Sincere.
I think this is A.
How
The
did
first
you
letter
pass your
of the
final
alphabet.
exams? I know how to sign A, and
Yeah.
I would not be like, is this A?
Is
I
this
would
A?
know, and
I
I have
think.
never studied ASL.
I can't. That really got
But it's
me.
working. Ugh. Their relationship, he just seems like he's putting in the time. It's almost weird to me how he can seem bored while doing the most.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing the most if you don't even seem like you give a shit to do it? It's very weird.
It is. And it's always like, I don't know, with him he's like, I have to explore. It's a part of Love Island. Let's go for it. But then he forgets that, like, Melanie, does Melanie even know you know sign language, Sincere? Have you even told her that?
Yeah. He keeps saying he knows he has to explore, but like you don't actually have to make out and hump on someone in bed all throughout Casa. That's not required. Does he know that? Melanie is trying to explore with Corey, and she tells him that her love language is acts of service because she's independent. So if he actually does things for her, she starts to feel like he can lead her. Now, I want Melanie to take some time after this season to think about what happens when you let men lead you, because they will lead you on a merry dance down the primrose path
Yeah.
into questioning your own sanity.
Which is what she's done this entire season.
Yeah.
And Melanie, you can tell, like, she knows what she wants. And she's
Yeah.
confident in who she is. But she's letting these men kind of like guide her journey instead of just like cutting it off. Just cut, like with Sincere. I know it's hard, but there's been too many red flags at this point
Right.
that you should kind of sense that maybe it's time to move on. And maybe in Casa, he's not operating as you think he is. But she still has faith
Yeah.
in Sincere for some reason. And then she
some
sees
reason.
Corey, though, more so as like the protector. Like he gets her. He gets that she's like an independent woman. And so maybe she'll follow him down that path.
Maybe she'll follow him down the path to having land to build a compound with a farm for her family on, which is what she tells him she wants. I was like, they're all trad.
Mm-hmm.
They're all trad. Even the ones that I forget are trad, they always turn out to be trad.
Yep. She wants honeybees, and she wants fresh honey and chickens, and she wants her mom to just come over and bake sourdough with her.
I love that for her. But like, does she really think she's going to have that with Sincere? Like, Sincere needs to be around the pulsing like lifeblood of the city where there are lots of women that he can hit on when she's not around. Come on. At some point in all of this, Ian tells us that Alana has left Casa Amor. I missed this, but
I love when Ian does this though, because as of late we've had a few people get kicked out for using racial slurs in past social media posts. But Ian doesn't need to explain that to the audience. She just left. If you go, as soon as you go on social media, you could see all the Alana posts and what has happened there. But it
Yeah.
is funny how it's always just like a brief little mention.
I always miss it. I've never actually heard him say that someone has left the villa. It happens so quick. Then Kenzie finds the pink mailbox in the villa with a postcard from Casa Amor. I couldn't stop thinking about them like going to Shutterfly or something and like designing this little postcard and ordering it.
Like
It looks
express
like a
shipping
Christmas
to
card.
Fiji.
Yeah. On the card is a picture of Alana kissing Zach, Casey kissing Titi, Sincere kissing Amora and like biting her lip. Kata immediately throws herself on the couch and starts sobbing. Melanie also starts crying and trying to convince herself that hers was in a challenge, and all the women have to be like, no, sweetie, like it clearly wasn't. Look at the way his hair is, like his outfit, like that's not the challenge. Trinity is the blessed girl on this in this group because she sees Bryce sucking a toe and she's like, well, that's a challenge. He's not even kissing her, but he does love toes, so that sucks.
That was the best. I love Trinity so much. He's just like, oh, he's sucking someone else's toe, and he really likes to suck
He
toes.
really likes that. The boys find their blue mailbox and card, blue because they're boys, of course. And Sincere opens it and immediately starts laughing. I was like, you guys are laughing because you don't even care about this shit.
No.
Jen and Kata are kissing guys. Jen is single, basically. Kata was kissing him in a challenge. Melanie just has a guy's hand under her chin. Kenzie is touching tongues for a selfie. And then there's the Trinity photo booth kiss. So Bryce is the only one that really has any reason to be upset.
But he's not. He takes it in stride, I have to say. Like, he's definitely sad.
He's
but
sad.
he doesn't, like, crash out.
He doesn't, like, start, like, saying nasty shit about her. He doesn't lose faith. He's just like, this really sucks. I'm sad. And it makes me think about how Trinity has told me she's never dated a white guy before and how much she loves guys with tattoos. And here she is in the photo booth kissing a guy with tattoos who is her type. Like, I'm really worried now. And he just becomes very introspective and sad.
And he really starts to realize his feelings.
Yeah, he does. Oh, God, I love them.
I love Bryce. I really do.
Zach is like the one guy who is really thinking big picture because he's always scheming. He's always scheming. He immediately realizes what Kata must be seeing. He's like, oh my God, she's seeing all the times I kissed Alana. And someone is like, oh, but she's kissing someone. He's like, that's a challenge, clearly. Like, whatever.
He doesn't even care what she's doing. He's like, oh shit, she's going to see what I've been up to.
He's
and
like,
now
she saw it and I'm the one who fucked up.
Yeah, and I have to figure out a way to make this up to her when I return to the villa because Alana is no longer here.
Yeah.
So I'm going back single.
But what if I just don't tell her that?
Yeah.
Well, that's an idea. Sincere is actually really upset because Melanie is giving the Casa boy touching her chin a nice look. And he's like, oh, he's probably telling her she deserves so much better than what I've done to her. And it's like, yeah, they're all telling her that because you're a psychopath. And like, see, you show these glimmers of awareness that you know how dirty you've done her. So I know you're not actually as naive as you say.
Oh, yeah.
Casey somehow manages to be aggrieved. He has been throwing every woman he can get his hands on the bed and making out with them since night one.
But Anaya has her leg up and she's kissing Carl. And Casey's like, what? Because she would never do that to me. She gave me nothing in bed. She went to sleep.
Classy, slight elevated leg as they kiss. And he's like, she never put a leg up on me. I don't know, Casey. I watched you guys do some shit.
Yeah.
Okay? He's found ammunition that like she's giving other men something that he's not getting. So the men debrief at bedtime, and this is when things get even more disgusting. First, Corbin says he's happy for Kenzie, and she and the guy in the picture are a perfect match because they're both sticking their tongues out. And I was like, Corbin, you're given captcha right now. You're like, these two images match.
Look,
please select every picture with a tongue sticking out.
Yeah, oh my God. I can't.
Parmita and I both look perfectly hot. Kenzie and her guy both have tongues sticking
out. They're meant to be. See?
Casey then says that he's not happy for Anaya, that she's exploring with someone. He's like, I also don't give a fuck. He says she's on a thin-ass line if she wants to start any arguments. And Sincere very slightly tries to check him here and is like, don't you feel like you're on a thin-ass line? And Casey says that he feels like he has more leeway because he spoke life into her every day.
Oh my God. This
Okay.
moment made me just.
Okay.
No, you
So it
go.
was
Go.
all fake. Like you're
Yeah.
telling me that you carry resentment because you gave her these flowery speeches about
Mhm.
like how beautiful she was and she's the blueprint, and because of that you have license to be disrespectful, to completely disregard how she's going to feel seeing what you're doing. You
Yeah.
feel that her sharing a tasteful kiss with a guy she's exploring is worse because you gave her so many fucking fake empty compliments.
Because those compliments though, Claire, didn't lead to, the leg up and the hot makeout, which is really showing us that Casey was looking at this the wrong way. He wants ass. That's what he
Yeah,
wants. He
he
wants some
does.
action, and he thought speaking life into Anaya and giving her these compliments and making her feel like she was his number one was gonna ultimately get him there.
More and more we're seeing this kind of like red pill mentality becoming more and more explicit as the season goes on, and they're harboring their little resentments and they're having opportunities to like show their little double standards. But like the it's so obvious that everything he said to Anaya was just like bullshit to get what he wanted physically from her. And this is the second part where he doesn't get what he wants quickly enough, and so he turns
Hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, well, you're ugly anyway." Like that's kind of the vibe. It's like
Yeah.
I hit on a girl, I flattered her. She didn't want to give me her number. Now I'm pissed. Like the resentment and anger that he is not being just given the romantic attention that he wants is very unsettling. Interestingly, also, he notices how happy Anaya is in the picture and does zero self-reflection on whether that's because he made her unhappy. He's like, "Well, I told her she was the
Yeah.
blueprint, so obviously I was speaking life into her and making her really happy. Oh, it turns out you were fucking with her head,
Yeah.
and she was drained."
Hmm.
The Costa girls also talk some shit and are like saying that Kenzie might yell at Corbin, but Kenzie just likes anyone that likes her, and like we're not scared of the Villa girls. I just find that like the Casa girls are
Mean
they're showing
Girls.
no female solidarity this season. They're
Hmm.
being very mean.
Yeah, and they've been watching the women like on the
Yeah.
show. And so it's just weird to me that they're not like siding a little bit with the women knowing what they've been through with these guys. Like you've
Yeah.
seen how these guys have been acting. So you should be siding with someone like Anaya after seeing how Casey's
Flipped on
like,
her.
yes.
Yeah,
It
no,
it
it's crazy. Like I'm really unsettled by it because it shows that women are coming on the show also with this mindset that like it's our job to just make the men happy, give them the access and the fun
Mhm.
that they want. And if we express our own emotional needs or if we have our own agency, then that is deserving of judgment. Like if we're picked by a man, then that gives us value, and the
Mhm.
woman that he didn't pick is garbage. Like that's the energy that they're bringing into this, and it continues throughout them entering for the most part back at the villa. That night, Melanie, Anaya, and Kata gather to reflect on how dumb they look. And Melanie says, "We look like the kind of women who are like, well, as long as he lays in the bed with me, he knows where home is. That's how stupid we look." Which is interesting because a lot of people have been saying that about Melanie specifically, like with those
Mhm.
words. She's one of those women who's like, well, as long as he knows where home is. And it's clear that she is really wrestling with that. Like, am I building a relationship that I should be giving a chance to, or am I looking like a woman who's willing to be cheated on as long as I get picked?
Yeah. And I think she is struggling with that because she brings it up a lot how she tells Sincere like I don't want to be the woman you just come back to. Like I want you to make me feel like I am your girl all the time. But yet
Yeah.
she's telling the girls all of this about Sincere and how she's like, "Well, he'll come home to me." Like that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But girl, you got to
Stand up.
stand up for yourself.
Sincere and Bryce have a little chat, catch up about their girls. Sincere's like, "I miss Mela, but I also like Amora." But Bryce is just pining, and he's been thinking about that postcard and he's been processing. And he says that when he was feeling low, he looked at pictures he brought of all the little moments he shared with Trinity, and it gave him hope. He's like, if she remembers all of these moments we shared, that's what love is. Maybe that's what she'll choose.
And this is proving that he is almost a 30-something-year-old man.
I know. I was like, oh.
compared
That's
to
so
all these
beautiful. Like,
child
I
men.
think that Bryce's big flaw is just that exactly. He's willing to go along to be included with the child men. But like when you kind of separate him out, there's a difference in caliber there. And what I would encourage Bryce to do is to lean into that more and be the guy who stands up for women in those
Mhm.
moments. He says he'd rather go back alone and die on his shield of how he's feeling. It's a beautiful thing to take that risk. Sincere will later quote this in his Casa recoupling speech, which is unhinged because it didn't even make any sense in context. Like, it's giving that he's just like, I need to say something, so I'm just gonna say
Use Bryce's
what
words.
Bryce said. Meanwhile, back at the villa, the girls are trying to keep exploring. Anaya talks to Carl, and they talk about how they both like really cheesy romantic gestures. And he's like, I actually have written and recorded a song for a girl before. And Anaya was asking for a serenade. So, she's about that. Did you see that his ex posted a video on social media about him,
Yes,
alleging
and
that
that
he
he
is a
is
wonderful
wonderful
boyfriend?
boyfriend. It's like, of course Carl
I
is
was
a
obsessed
wonderful
with it.
boyfriend. I wouldn't doubt it. And if he was
Yeah,
anything but wonderful, how? Like,
I would be shocked. He's got it all. Corey is still pursuing Melanie. He's puts on his favorite
bedazzled
bedazzled
jeans.
jeans and he's peacocking. And he asks Melanie when she usually gets fed up with a guy, and she says she's getting to that point with Sincere, and he seems pleased, and they do some more like sweet talking. Meanwhile, Kata and Anaya sneak up the stairs to catch her eye and then like pantomime kissing and
I love
humping.
it. They're like,
This was so sweet. I feel like people have been calling them cliquish and mean girls, but that's just a reframing of the fact that they have been building bit by bit this very deep friendship and bond that is really sweet to see. And they are willing to include any woman in that who makes herself vulnerable to the group and
yes,
like
they're
really,
hype girls. They're going to support
yeah,
each other. And that's one of my favorite parts of Love Island is seeing the
yeah.
friendships. Half of it is the friendships. I mean, in the end, you only really choose one couple that you're like, woohoo. But
And like
mostly it's the people. It's like their dynamic together.
And that's the one thing that we're getting from this season. We're getting one love story, Bryce and Trinity, and we're getting the girls' friendships. And even though half the audience is calling it cliquishness now, that's sisterhood. They care
Hmm.
for each other, they stick up for each other. We're not getting so many of the other things, like the opposite sex friendships are pathetic this
Yeah.
season.
Lacking
Ugh,
big time.
we're not seeing very good romances. Like, it's. Anyway, we're at the end of episode 20. Let's pick up the pace. Episode 21. Casa More exploration continues. Kenzie is smitten with Dylan. She even reveals that she to him her secret that she almost failed fifth grade and even became a nurse to prove that she was not stupid. And I love that for her, but it's rough that she keeps saying things like 2030 vision
Yeah.
is really good. I'm like, Kenzie, maybe you
Kenzie.
still need to study.
Study, yeah.
Gal
Open up those books.
Gala and Kenzie talk about how they don't want to step on toes, but they're really feeling each other. Jen and some of the girls are watching, and Jen says she thinks Kenzie just likes talking to two people. She likes to have options. And it's like, maybe Kenzie actually does love having a roster. Also, Gall tells her that if they were coupled, he would cuddle her in bed. So it's seeming like he has a physical openness to
Hmm.
touch that he's not going to have with Jen, which is fair.
Which he tells her all the time that he's like shy and he doesn't like public displays of affection. But then he's like, but I really
That's
want to
just
cuddle
not who
him.
he is. Yeah, with Kenzie.
Yeah.
Corbin and Parmita discuss how they want to get their cars back, and Corbin seems to think that they'll be street racing. He's like, I'm going to dust your ass. But Parmita just means that she wants them to drive in cars together and take turns playing music.
Because they're the same person.
And they both play music in the car.
They both
Yeah.
drag race.
I can't. Bryce tells Sydney that he's very emotional about Trinity, and she's like, well, you are one of my top two. Maybe I didn't just communicate that well. And he's kind of like, well, I don't know. You're great. I just miss Trinity.
Yeah. But at least he's being on. Like, that's the way to do it. Like, we can
Yeah.
still talk and get to know each other, but my heart's with Trinity. But I still think you're cool.
He tells the camera he doesn't want to waste her time and explore something just to get a reaction or because he's having a reaction. And it's like that is the kind of like deep thinking one level deeper about what you're doing that literally all of the other guys need to be exhibiting.
Yeah.
Carl and Anaya play volleyball together and talk about whether he's too reserved. And she's like, no, you're perfect. It's very cute. The Casa Boys are really trying to step it up. Corey plans a breakfast picnic for Melanie. They end up kissing. Dylan plans a massage date for Kenzie that's like a yoga mat and a towel on the bare dock, and it looked terrible.
Yeah, and Carl's like her little chauffeur.
That part was cute.
So
It
cute.
really makes you realize that the OG boys have not done any of this season,
No.
and it's pathetic.
And I have to say, like the Casa Boys, I wasn't immediately drawn to them, but now they are very much in my favor. They're very sweet men.
Well, did you watch After Sun?
Well, yes.
Corey was
Yeah.
on my shit list after that. Well, here's what I think happens, though. The boys and the girls get brought in to seduce people away from their connections, and the girls do it by offering a lot of like sexual openness. And the men do it by being like, oh, I'll plan you a date. Oh, I just want to care for you. But it's all disingenuous. Like, I
Oh
don't
yeah, they
trust
just want to
any.
stay in the villa.
I
Yeah.
just want to stay in the villa.
Especially
Carl's the
Corey, I
only
could
person I
sense that though,
trust.
even before After Sun.
Yeah.
I was like, but Dylan, I feel like, I mean, Gall, you never know with Gall, but Dylan for sure and Carl, like those
Well,
two, I could tell they really like the girls they're with.
Well, and they're very close. Like, I think that they have similar mindsets. That can also get ugly. I think that Dylan shows a certain amount of like entitlement
Mm.
that really bugged me because the men have been very critical of the women for showing any sort of like expectations of their partner. But he does seem to think that like the right way to do this is I'm going to really invest in one person and I'm going to care about her.
Mm-hmm.
And like Corey's just scamming. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
The Islanders are really starting to grapple with their decisions. Anaya tells the girls she thinks Casey is fine and she wants to be with fine shit. I'm no longer hearing the critiques from her many haters that she was never attracted to Casey. Now they have other critiques.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're shallow. You just want to be with someone who's attractive.
I feel like she always thought he
Trinity-
was attractive. She just,
I think so
didn't
too.
initially pick him. Probably because she kind of could sense this is maybe where it was heading.
I mean,
down
he
the
was very
line.
disingenuous during that door challenge, and he didn't get as much time with the women because he didn't show as much compatibility with them because he kept giving these weird answers.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry.
likes plants,
He likes plants. You're allowed to like plants, but at least like stand on that,
Yeah,
but
at least
don't
like
be
dogs
like, oh.
too.
So Trinity gets kind of irritated at Anaya. Trinity is the one who is constantly trying to be like, you guys need to look after yourselves a little bit better. Kenzie too, actually. Like, they don't care about you. You can't care about them. She's like, if that's what you want, keep letting fine shit do her dirty. Keep being a dummy. And Anaya's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Anaya admits later that her attraction to Casey is a little bit more than her attraction to Carl. And I think that also plays into this. That like sucks for Carl to see back if they end up continuing to date. Like legit. I think it's legit to be hurt by that. But it's also really normal to fall in love with someone who wasn't like the number one most attractive you've ever seen in your life early
Yes.
on. So I personally don't think it's that big of a deal.
I also think Carl's just giving her so much care and attention that maybe she's not used to that. And maybe it comes
Yeah.
off to her as slightly unattractive because she enjoys the chase
Yeah.
of Casey.
I also think like her mom has said on social media that she has previously only dated Black men, and it seems like that's probably her usual type. I think that Carl is more similar to her in personality, but physically is more out of her comfort zone. Before the recoupling, she tells the girl she's never been so fucking happy, and Mela is like, can you stay with that thought, please? Mela has been to so much therapy.
I
She
know,
is like
she really
the
has.
therapist. She knows all the little tools.
I know she's telling the girls all like these great things, but I'm like, tell them to yourself too, babe. Like,
Oh, but it's so hard to do it to yourself.
because she really does have a slew of knowledge up there about
She
dating and
does.
men.
It's hard. It's hard for her to bring herself to that point. Sincere talks to TT about his love triangle, and he says it's one of those things where you're trying to put the puzzle pieces together, and it's like, does this one piece fit here? Or maybe you're trying to make it fit, but then you realize it belongs somewhere else the whole time. And she's like, damn, that's deep. He's found an
That's-
audience for his metaphors.
Mhm. She's like, that's real deep.
She's never heard of the missing puzzle piece metaphor of love before.
No, she just knows Romeo and
Sincere then
Juliet.
tells TT that, oh God, we'll get to that. Sincere tells TT that Casey is so different with her, and Anaya's dope as fuck, but he hasn't seen Casey smiling like that in 3 weeks. This really grossed me out. He's allowed to think Casey is happier, but like the disregard for Anaya here and like what she should have, the information she could have been getting from him.
Exactly. Because as we saw, once he's back too in the villa, like he's very close with Anaya. They're always like chatting together about things, and he never once brings this up. Like, oh, Casey did seem really happy, I have to say, in Casa. Like he was, no, he just kind of, this is where he's showing that two-faced side. Is he kind of keeps things hidden a lot, especially like this is just your friend. Like
I would feel so betrayed, like that I couldn't
Yeah.
count on my friend to have my back in these moments. Like there's no sense of like, oh well, it sucks for Anaya that it seems like he wasn't that genuine about her, and that's my friend. So I need to like talk to him about that. None of that. No checking of Casey. He's actually helping Casey woo TT here. Sincere chats with Caleb, and Caleb is like,
he still exists.
The girls back at the villa. He pops up occasionally and says something like sweet, and then is like so boring that I can't pay. I don't even think his relationship with Jaden is included in the edit for most of the week because there's nothing there.
No.
But he's like, I miss the villa girls.
So sweet.
So sweet.
He belongs with Carl.
He says that the Casa girls are much more open. I'm like, yes, we all know why. Sincere says the women in the villa operate too much like the outside and won't talk to each other as friends. Whereas here, and he starts to say, like, if I explore her and if I explore her, and he's pointing different directions. But Amora is walking by and sees and hears him doing this.
Yeah.
And surprise, gentlemen, the Casa girls also dislike being traded around and having their agency disregarded like this. She is not pleased with this.
No.
She's like, what is he doing? Like, you're comparing women who feel like an established understanding of your relationship for weeks to women who just met you. And after a couple of days, they are also starting to feel an established sense of what that connection is. And they're also going to stop being that open. Like, buckle in. He says that he was forgetting what Melanie looked like in a bad way. But then the postcard reminded him of what she looked like, and it made him miss her.
Like,
he lacks
because
object permanence.
Yeah, he's like, wait, what did she look like again? And he's also just jealous that she was like
smiling
Corey,
at someone.
Like, a sweet face. And
Literally
now he's like, wait, I got to get back. I got to prove that I'm her guy.
Then he says he's worried about choosing between the two women because they both bring a whole pie to the table. Not just a slice, not just toppings. It's 2 damn pies. Wow, you really clarified the situation with that
puzzle
metaphor.
Pieces, pies. Like, this guy is just, he's all about the pieces. He's putting the pieces together.
Then Judgment Day arrives. Recoupling is happening. Casa's going to return. Many of them are very stressed, but Zach knows what he's doing because his one girl left. Perfect. Ariana enters the villa. She's wearing a red thong corset dress. She looks,
oh my God,
insane.
So hot. This was amazing. We
see the villa recoupling, and then after each girl has made her choice, the boy from the original couple enters, single or in a new couple. So Jen chooses Gal, and Caleb walks in with Jaden, and everyone's just so happy for them, except I was like, Jen, you're fucked. Gal doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Caleb and Jaden, I don't care. Cute. Kenzie chooses Dylan. She says she's finally found a guy that's genuine and real. She should have seen the red flags of Corbin being a shitty guy. He told her he was catching feelings, and it was a lie. And the women all murmur agreement. They're like, he fooled all of us. Corbin walks in with Parmita, and the girls immediately are like, boo, tomato, 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 tomato.
I love that, tomato.
Melanie was just very, like, calmly, like, with her head held high. She's just like, tomato, 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 like, throwing imaginary tomatoes. They inform him of the live stream.
Yeah, this was great because the guys had no idea. He's the first one to find out.
I think Caleb is the first one, but it wasn't an interesting enough reveal for me to mention
like,
it.
Oh, it's just Caleb.
Because Caleb's just like, oh,
you
didn't do it. It doesn't matter.
I'm single.
They're like, we saw the rude comments you made about like immediately tossing Kenzie aside. Kenzie also references the Persian cat thing twice, which I didn't love. I was like, it sounds pretty racist coming out of your mouth, Kenzie.
Yeah. Mhm.
He says that he stands on his decision, and they're all like, that is not the issue. It's the disrespect. Anaya says Kenzie would never have spoken about him that way. And we all need to prepare ourselves for the men to refuse to understand this distinction until eternity. Like, you can
Yeah.
lay it out for them so clearly, and it doesn't process.
No. At least Corbin slightly gets it, like, after a few but Casey just keeps being like, "But I'm the victim."
I
Like,
don't think that Corbin even gets it. I think that Corbin understands that his role in the play that is unfolding is to take it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not going to serve me to argue with them. If I'm right, the audience will agree with me. And if I argue, I'll only lose my sympathy,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So he just kind of like takes it. Parmita tries to chime in and she's like, well, I feel confident in our connection. And Kata's like, I
Yep.
wouldn't.
I love that. Kate is the best.
And
And
it's like,
she's yeah.
Parmita, why are you talking? Like, no one cares whether you feel confident in the connection. That's not the conversation.
No, and you shouldn't even be don't even talk in this moment. It's kind of just like, he chose you. They're trying to figure out like why he moved the way he did, and she's just like, "You guys, you have a lot of emotions. Like he never
Ugh.
disrespected you with me." And they're like, "But we saw we saw video footage of the disrespect." So,
Right.
yes, he did.
It's like, you're not disproving anything by saying he didn't say those things to you because
Yeah.
we saw him saying those things to someone. Like, no one cares. Then she adds that he was with his boys and thinking with his dick.
Mm.
I was really disturbed by how frequently this was invoked. I thought that we had been through this. I thought that we had established that locker room talk was not an excuse to be disrespectful to women. I thought that boys will be boys had been thoroughly handled, but so many
Nope.
women this season are using that to be like, the guys can say whatever wild things they want because boys will be boys.
Yeah. Which it's like alarming. It's alarming, and it makes like I know we chatted a bit about it like through text how like the future of men, like what is happening to this younger
I don't
generation of
know.
men and women thinking like we're back to yep, boys will be
Yeah.
boys. He was just hanging with the guys. They're allowed to talk about what they want. They're just like,
Well, what a great way to get picked by guys if you undermine female solidarity and you're like, it's okay if he disrespects me or other women. I'm going to make excuses for that to give him more power to treat us however he wants. I think we're really seeing this season how the patriarchy divides women in competition over
mm,
men. In theory, everyone's competing, right? But the men have solidarity with each other. The Casa girls and the Casa boys and the men will all kind of come together to make excuses for the misbehavior or to be like, well, it's a double standard because you were doing it too. But they will then come at the women really hard
yeah.
for any perceived stepping out of these strict bounds of like sexual fidelity and ladylike behavior. There's a double standard that is enforced by the women wanting to be picked by the men and gain access to their status, and the men all hanging together to preserve their like male status and the dominance that they have in that situation.
Yes, and I think the competition aspect of Love Island is getting to the Casa girls because
Hmm.
they do want to be picked. When they're brought back to the villa, they're trying to be like, look, I'm the one he chose. Instead of being like,
Hmm.
I'm so sorry the way he treated you when we were exploring. And, we do have a connection, but he shouldn't have treated you that way. As a woman, I feel for you, but like, I hope we can like whatever. But instead, she's defending Corbin, and the same with Titi defending KC.
Right, exactly. And this is not, as you said, this is not how it always plays out. This season in particular, we are really seeing how this has historically played out under patriarchy in a really alarming way. And there are choices you can make to have that solidarity with other women, even in this setting, which is designed to create that conflict. Kata chooses Zach. Zach walks in single, as if he had a choice. And he's like, oh, I tried to make myself explore, but I knew I wanted you, Kata.
He's just he's a liar. He's really like he's really annoying me. He's always kind of annoyed me, but especially with this whole lying about the situation with Alana, like why not come in and be like, I was exploring, she was kicked out, but I still would have chose you. He should have just been flat out with the truth right away. But instead, he's like sneaky. Zach is very sneaky. And he also likes to like stir the pot with the other couples. Like he's always bringing up something, like whether it's Bryce or just like with the girls or a night. Like he's always trying to spill the beans in a way where he's not even supposed to be involved.
Melanie chooses Sincere, even though she says in her speech that he has embarrassed her and she doesn't know who he is sometimes. Sincere walks in single for Melanie, and Ariana asked him if he was nervous, and he was like, "Yeah, but I was really confident. I just had a feeling that she would be single for me because I know her and I think she knows me too." And people have been dragging Melanie up and down for choosing Sincere and
Hmm.
then verbally thrashing him in her response. But I think this really triggered her because we've seen her
Oh, yeah.
grappling with this thought of like, do I know who Sincere is? Is he playing me? Do I look like the dummy who will always be waiting for him while he behaves however? And he says all the things that are going to trigger that. He's like, I
Yeah.
knew she would be
I
here.
knew she would be here. Yeah. She
I know
wouldn't
who
pick
she
someone
is.
else. Yeah.
And
And
she
at
knows
first
me.
she seemed like happy that he walked in single. But yes, as he
Hmm.
started talking, her vibe completely shifted and she was not she was not happy during the recoupling.
She was not like, this is a
Mm-mm.
moment where how it happens matters and the men do not understand that. Like, if Sincere had come in and said, I really had time to reflect on how I have not been the man you deserve. And when I was away from you, I just resolved that I really wanted to keep making that right. And I was worried that you would be done with me because of how wrong I've done you in the past. And I'm so grateful that you're still here. And he did the opposite of
Yeah.
everything that would make her feel like he's actually changed.
No, he's like, I knew you'd be here.
And then yeah. So she goes off on him. Ariana's like, how are you feeling, Melanie? Do you feel like you know him? And she's like, no. And it's been really hard to hear the Casa Boys say that I deserve better. In other words, like, they've seen that you're playing me even more than I've seen. They were all trying to get me to see it. I need you to not just say that I'm a wonderful woman, but act like it even when I'm not fucking looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach tries to back Sincere up, and somehow this just sets everyone off again. And Kenzie ends up yelling at Zach for saying the night of the heartbeat challenge that he likes blondes now. I'm like, Kenzie, who cares?
Yeah, she's like, you like me now?
I'm sorry that Zach used that as an excuse for not being into you. Like, that
Yeah.
was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. But then Parmita gets in on it too. It's
Yeah, it's like, Parmita, you don't know what the fuck you're talking
just,
about.
yeah,
I'm
just be
sorry.
quiet.
Trinity chooses Bryce and gives a beautiful speech about how weirdly funny he can be. He makes her feel like she can be herself. She loves even that he and Zach are head asses together. She's like, I support male friendship. And like, most of the time I do too. She's like, I just love everything about him. Of course, Bryce returns single for Trinity. They're both in lemon yellow.
I
And when he
know. They've
sees
been
she's single,
coordinating a
he
lot.
runs the rest of the way back.
So
And
cute.
I saw people saying, oh, well, production got them to coordinate. I don't really care whether they did or not. It was just cute.
Not yet.
Ariana asks him about his experience, and he just looks at Trinity fighting tears and just tells her directly, like, I missed you so much. You are all I could think about. And she tells him that she slept in soul ties for 2 nights. She missed him so much too. They're both really giddy.
So
And
cute.
Ariana's like wrapping things up, and you can see he's like keeps starting to like walk over
Yeah,
to
he
Trinity.
wants
And
to
finally
see her.
he's like, can I get over there?
So cute.
I like wept watching this.
I love them together so much. And then they like hug and he kisses her and she's like, wait, my makeup is on your lips. And he's like, leave it. Like,
Yeah.
I love them so much. And I love this connection because it's so unexpected. Like when they first got together, you're like, oh, they have like friend vibes. But they really
Yeah.
are like falling for each other. They're the only true connection in the villa.
This week won me over. I'm totally won over by Trinity and mostly Bryce. I just need him to like be surrounded by better men. I think that he takes on too much of the group dynamic, and I think his soul is very sensitive, and I love their connection because it isn't overly sexual, and that's fine too, but like not every beautiful love story is steamy. Sometimes it's like sweet and like
Yes. And I think that's
gentle,
what
and I
Trinity likes about it is that maybe she hasn't had
yeah.
this kind of love story before. And so it's kind of like took her
Yeah.
off guard at first, but they really did build this friendship before they got into the sexual part of, their French frying
Yeah.
relationship. So,
And they're gonna get to French fries by the end of
oh
the week,
yeah.
which I love. Anaya is next. and she gives a very complimentary speech about Carl, but chooses Casey. She's like, I was missing him the whole time. I hope he was missing me. She does not sound confident.
Mm-mm.
And
And we aren't confident
we aren't
watching
confident.
it. Like,
She
I was,
looks
like,
ill.
sweating. I
I
was
kind
sweating
of,
knowing what was coming.
I actually, a lot of people were like, she just did this because her friends all got reunited. I think you have to lock in your picks before. That's typically how these kind of things work. I think more
Mhm.
what happened is that she was sitting through this, starting to be like, oh my God, I'm going to be the person who's left hanging,
Mhm.
but it's too late now and I'm fucked.
Yeah. Mhm.
As she talks about how she's been so grateful to have Casey by her side and she's always going to pick him, the Villa guys look ill. Like they
Mhm.
know
Oh,
what's
yeah.
coming. And I'm like, you should look like you feel worse, to be honest. Casey walks back in with TT. He won't even look at the girls and they start to laugh and be like, look up, look up. Anaya looks crushed. She says she feels stupid, and the women are like, you're not. He's an idiot. Trifling, actually.
Yeah, I loved that.
She tells them that everyone told her she was delusional as fuck. And look at her. She looks delusional as fuck. Ariana asks for Casey's reaction, and he says, well, that's a sad reaction, I would say.
Yeah. But then he's like, this isn't for her. It's
This
for me.
decision,
This decision isn't for Anaya. It's for me. Now, Claire,
I
did
levitated out of my
you...
body.
Same. I was just like, who
I was like,
is this man? Like, who is he?
like,
Casey
why do
was
you think you need
not
to
like
say
this.
that?
Yeah, he was also not like
He
this
ch-
the whole
he changed.
series. He's completely done a 180. Like, he is a totally different person. And this was so disgusting to me. I was,
But yeah, this was disgusting. And he's dropped the mask, but I think this was him trying to like continue playing the good guy. He's like basically implying that whenever he picked her in the past, that was a choice for her. He's
mhm,
like, because why else would you have to say it like that? This choice isn't for you. Well, none of the choices are supposed to be for her. They're all supposed to be for you. You're supposed to be picking her for you because you want to. Now
yes.
you're implying that that was actually out of pity or something. And this is the first time you're actually making a choice for you. We all know it's for you, Casey. What
Yeah.
point do you think you're making? And then we get his villain origin story. This was crazy. This was actually like the moment at the end of a movie when like the guy you least suspect is revealed as the murderer
Mhm,
and
mhm.
he sort of with wild eyes tells you why he did it, like what perceived slight or like wrong was done him. That is what, like, if he were doing sides for a murder mystery, playing that role, he could not have captured it any better. It was
You're
crazy.
so right. He is like the villain of a Lifetime movie. This fucking guy.
Truly, he's like, Anaya, I've been pouring into you, have I not? Like, I've picked you time and again, even at the beginning, when nobody fucking picked me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that part. Like the anger, the bitterness, the resentment that he is still harboring after she has picked him repeatedly, told him how much she likes about him, that his body is perfect, that she likes everything about him. Like all the things that she has given him, all the time she's picked him, he has been harboring so much bitterness and resentment that she did not pick him based on his looks
Yeah, but
the
none of the
first day.
yes, none of the girls picked him, and that they say is, "We didn't know you, Casey. We didn't know you the first day.
Like it's
She's
not
picked you ever
personal.
since she's actually gotten to know you. She's picked you." And then she stands up there. Oh my God. And this just broke my heart so much. She's like, "At the fire pit with the letters. I picked you. Here, I picked you. You didn't pick me. You didn't pick me. We had conversations, and I said at the end of the day, I would still pick you. And this is a decision where you could pick me, and you didn't pick me." And I am like sobbing. Carl is crying. And then he's just saying, "It's okay, Anaya." Under his breath, "It's okay, Anaya." And
Oh.
look, I'm going to cry now.
It's like seeing a man have compassion for a woman, even though she has done something that might hurt his feelings, is crazy. And I get like so angry about this. I did a whole video on social about all of the red pill moments, but this is a big
Yes.
one. This moment
Mm-hmm.
where he admits to all this bitterness and rage that she didn't just see him as worthy based on how masculine and handsome he was in that first moment to pick him, that he deserved that he deserved to be given everything immediately because of his like his physique and his like first impression, and instead of being willing to cultivate at something together, to always be harboring anger that he was not drooled over and chosen for his external appearance. Like this fixation on being a perfect looking man and like deserving female attention because of that is such a hallmark of the red pill culture. It's really scary. And to be like holding on to that this whole time. And meanwhile, she's like, we've been building something.
Yeah.
I've actually have picked you. I actually have told you how much I like you. And the disrespect that he's been showing just in his dismissiveness is why the women have been reacting so strongly. Because
Hmm.
he tried to make her feel very safe. He told her, yeah, I want to explore, but you have nothing to worry about. Well,
Yeah.
why would she have nothing to worry about if you're open to exploring?
Yeah. It's also like, you know, as the girls like Trinity chimes in and she says, why did you say that you and Anaya had a stronger couple than me and Bryce, but then switch up the first chance you got? Because what he did was, as soon as he was away from Anaya, he's like, well, now I can explore because she's not here. She can't see that I'm not that good guy. I'm not the man she
Right.
has on a pedestal. Like
Yeah.
I'm free now. Nobody's watching me.
I've seen a lot of people arguing that Bryce and Trinity lied because that's not what Casey said. Notice that Casey does not say that. He
Yeah,
says that's a lie because
I
I
saw that
didn't
too.
switch up that quickly. I didn't switch up after multiple bombshells. I've seen that scene. You see Bryce actually push Casey on it in the moment. He's like, you really think that you're a stronger couple than me and Trinity? We've been together since the beginning. It's clear that that's how Bryce received what Casey said, and that Trinity received it that way as well. They're not lying. Like maybe there's a little game of telephone going on, but that's what Casey meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I agree.
Trinity is like, if you weren't exploring because you were scared of her reaction and you waited until she wasn't around, that's sneaky. You're a grown
Hmm.
man. No
It
lies
is.
detected. Like,
Yes, it is sneaky. And he was moving that way. Like he knew as soon as he got to Casa, even his reaction like running into Casa, knowing
yeah,
that he was going to get to make out with all of these girls and that Anaya wasn't going to be in the same villa. Like you could see it in his body language, everything. He changed
yeah.
immediately.
Um, TT TT was asked like how like welcome to the villa, how are you feeling? TT tells Ariana that she deserves a connection like everybody else. This is when Trinity pipes in with her question. And then TT and Trinity kind of have it out because TT keeps wanting to jump in and be like, Casey's here for himself at the end of the day. And Trinity says, well, I'm not talking to you. I'm actually talking to Casey. He can speak for himself. And TT is like, you're a little girl. And Trinity's like, I don't know you.
Yeah, she's like, sit down,
And
pipe down.
TT says, you can pipe down. I'm TT.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we're
okay
like,
then.
okay, like what does that tell us? We know that. We know you're TT.
Like,
I don't know. You can't come for my girl Trinity. You can't.
you will never convince me that Trinity
No.
is wrong. Ever. I don't care what you say. She is trying to confront Casey about something that he said that concerns both her friend Anaya and herself and Bryce. And TT wants to jump in and speak for him when they don't know her, and then kind of get like she is definitely like, doing like some fighting words here. It's like you
Yeah.
can pipe down. You're a little
Yeah.
girl. She is escalating the tone of that encounter.
Yes.
Trinity
And
was
again,
not coming at TT.
it's like that dynamic between Casa and Villa Girls and
Mm,
that competition. Like that, oh, well, he chose me, so now I'm his girl and I'm going to defend him. Instead
hmm
of realizing Trinity is just trying to get a grown man to tell the truth, to just admit what he did.
Literally. Meanwhile, Casey is standing behind TT, smirking with glee. He loves this. He loves having women fight his battles. That makes him feel chosen and picked. That makes him feel worthy. And I'm so glad that he gets everything that he wants.
Mhm.
Melanie and maybe Kenzie also disappear at some point in the melee.
I know. I feel
You
like
can definitely tell the
Melanie
production
might have
intervened.
been,
We know they've
yeah,
done this in
she
the
might have been
past.
kicked out because I could see Melanie getting angered up in that situation. Kenzie, I'm not sure. So maybe she had like a potty break or something. Like I can't see Kenzie going after Casey. She kind
I
of
hope
just
she had
sits
to be removed
quietly at a
because,
lot of these things.
right, I'm like, they all yelled at Corbin with you. You better have had to be removed at this
Yeah.
point. Um, Anaya's just distraught. She's like, "I should have kept Carl." And, like, it's
Oh.
easy to say that knowing what we know now, but she still believed that, like, Casey needed her to pick him to invest in their relationship. He clearly was very touchy about not being picked. He's even mentioned it to her before.
Mhm.
And she still cared about him. They had spent weeks together. I cannot fault her for picking him
No, she
based on
did
what
what
she knew.
she did what her heart was telling her to do. And to be honest, yeah, you can't fault her for that. And with Carl, like she did have that connection, but it wasn't, we always knew she was going to go with Casey, even though we saw what Casey was
Carl
doing.
even knew.
Yeah.
Carl
Poor
knew. And
Carl.
like, of course it hurts. And it's valid to want to protect yourself after that rejection. You want to be like, my person knew immediately. But it is really hard to compete after a few days with a connection that had been built over 3 weeks of 24/7 togetherness.
Mhm.
The episode ends with a surprise vote. Which Casa boy and which Casa girl who did not get picked should be brought back into the villa? The obvious vote is Carl, and yet I did see so many people arguing online that he deserves to be better than second choice. He would never get over the blow to his ego. Anaya needs to just go home and like repent, I guess, because unless you pick the right guy first immediately, you need to be like disciplined as a
Yeah.
woman in some way.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about that like rejection aspect of this because people
Hmm.
were definitely like, Carl's rejected. He like she just wants him back now because she doesn't have KC. Which is like she wants to continue to explore Carl, but I don't think she only wants him back just in spite of Casey. I think she really did have a connection. I think she was just kind of
Yeah.
blinded by the Casey of it all. But yeah, people were really coming for her.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that she just didn't want Carl is dumb to me. Sure, she could have brought him back and still explored with Casey, but men are not generally accepting of that. And Casey, especially, seems very sensitive to his status and how that should be honored with him always being chosen. Like, the women don't bring a man back typically unless they know that their man is gone. Like, she wanted to keep the relationship with Casey, so she couldn't bring Carl. She had to choose. And she went with the information she had. But I think we see this a lot, this idea that like men can't handle rejection. They shouldn't have to handle it. It's such a blow to their male pride that they should get to like sort of just nurture that wound.
Hmm.
Women shouldn't get second chances. Like we even see this on The Bachelor. How many bachelors are married to the woman they rejected in the finale?
Yeah.
It's more than zero, it's more than one,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
But has that ever happened the other way? No. And when it does happen that a woman makes what seems to be a bad choice and the second place guy is presented as an option, so much of the audience is like, he shouldn't give her a second chance
Yeah.
after what she did.
Yeah. She
And they
rejected him.
never do.
Well,
Like, women have to make the perfect choice at all times because men shouldn't have to handle rejection.
yeah. But yeah, like how do you think Lauren felt when Ari was like, I made the wrong choice and now they're married with 4 kids, you know?
Right, exactly. Women have to swallow that sort of thing. Episode 22, the post recoupling scene is really horrifying.
Oh.
I was in tears. Anaya walks off, hyperventilating and sobbing. She's humiliated. She keeps saying that Casey is just writing her off. He doesn't even care to have a conversation with her. She feels so stupid. She wants to leave. So many of the times, the men are just like, well, you were mad at Casey even though you didn't know what he said in Casa. He just picked her. And like, I think what they're missing is that it's perfectly possible to pick someone new and come back in and be like, I feel terrible. Like, I care about you. I want to keep talking. Like, can we talk after this?
Yeah.
And he was very cold. He was very, like, unconcerned. Like, you're not anything to do with me anymore. It's sad that you're sad over there, I guess.
Yeah. And they were laughing.
They
Like
were
him,
laughing.
the the Casa girls and the boys were laughing. While Anaya is like distraught. Like she can't even get up the stairs to the bedroom. She can't even make it. She's that upset. She's trying to like hide the fact that she's crying, but then she's also like, look at these people laughing at me. And I just felt like
Right.
it was like high school bully shit. It really was. It made my heart hurt so bad for her that these pathetic men who claim to be and women, the Casa girls too. You claim to be her friend, and she's hurt. Like, if Casey says, like, if he is who he says he was, the immediate thing would have been to be like, go up. I know you hate me right now. All this stuff. I don't want you to be this upset. Like, let's go chat. Like, let's just find like an area, or maybe you just need a second. But he didn't even like approach her. He didn't
Yeah.
even.
The laughing was insane. Like they all stand there laughing while Anaya's leaving, destroyed. Parmita makes some slick little comment about how these girls think they're married after 2 days, and they all laugh and laugh. And I'm like, first of all, it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah,
You're the
you've been
ones who
2
just got here 2
days.
days ago. And
Yeah,
by the way, you're about to close off.
yeah.
You're the
Like,
ones who
in
only
2
have known them
days.
for 2 days. But like I saw people saying like, oh, they weren't laughing at Anaya. That is laughing at Anaya to stand there and make
Oh yeah.
like sort of rude comments about how they're too upset and laugh together
Yeah,
is
like, look at
laughing at
these girls
Anaya's pain.
crying. This is just pathetic. Yeah, this is. And
They
then
just
she
think
had
they won.
she
Like if
had
Corbin
the
did this to her, she would also be furious or
which she starts to
just
realize after getting to know the girls a little bit. She does start to tell Corbin, like, you better not do this to me. Like, this better not
exactly.
happen to me, because you see how they're treating the girls.
No, it's all just pure dominance. They're like, I won. I'm in the control position, and now I'm just like grinding my heel down on my losing opponent. Zach says something in unhinged about how good the vibe was in Casa, and I'm like, oh yeah, God, I wonder why it was so nice for you to have 6 women who are willing to touch you anywhere just to get back to the villa. And Parmita
Mm-hmm.
says it's because they're not 21 or 22, they're grown. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why
So
you're
what?
acting
Yeah.
like high schoolers.
I'm like, that's why you're acting so mature, eh, Parmita? Oh my
I
god.
would be disgusted to see people acting like this in a middle school cafeteria. But
Oh
certainly
yeah.
at 27, you should be
Yeah.
beyond this.
Yeah. A woman's having a panic attack, and you're over here acting like literal playground bullies. It's
Insane.
yeah.
The Villa girls go with Anaya to try to comfort her, and then she's like, I don't want to be here, and she tries to leave, and Melanie follows her to comfort her. I love their friendship. She is like so gentle with her at first, but then when it's not really working, she gets a little bit more like in Anaya's face and is just like, you are not going to cry about this forever. You're not going to care about this because that's not the man for you and you know it. She's like, you would have to build that man up. You're playing Build-A-Bear with that bitch. Fuck that. And I
I
was like,
can't. And then she's like, bro. I love how she's like, bro, you got this, bro, bro.
you got
It's
this. She says, even if we don't find love, we found each other. And she holds her like this. I'm sorry, this is female friendship. This
oh yeah.
is what we all need in a moment like this. And I saw people criticizing her for being rude to KC. I'm sorry, disrespect is met with disrespect. If your friend is
Yeah.
crying over a man who is discarding her, you do not have any obligation to be respectful to him
No.
when you're comforting her.
Listen,
I'm
I would
sorry.
want Melanie on my side anytime. I have to say
100%
too, she was like the one girl who was there for Anaya.
at every
Yeah,
turn.
every turn.
The Villa and Casa women are probably forced by production to form a fragile truce because the situation is volatile. Trinity, Jen, and Kata talk to Jaden and Parmita and reassure Parmita that they have nothing against her. They only have an issue with Corbin. They're like, you are just defending him, and you actually have only seen one side of him. Parmita knows the script, though. She's like,
Mhm.
any man can fuck up. Men can act like fucking angels, and they can still fuck you over. Like, boys will be boys. We get
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
But she's like, I don't want to hold his past against him because that wouldn't be fair to me. And they're all like, of course not. You don't have to, but we are going to hold it against him.
Yeah,
And
we're
that's
gonna
our
hold it
right.
against him. And then she's starting to be like, wait, Corbin, they told me you were sneaky.
Yeah,
so
don't
don't
be
do that
sneaky.
sneaky stuff to me. Don't be sneaky.
As long as it's not to me.
Yeah.
At bedtime, TT apologizes to Trinity for calling her a little girl. And Trinity is like, it's fine. We just have an issue with the guys, not you. TT also reveals that Bryce and Zach were on their best behavior. And Melanie is like, what about Sincere? And TT's like, well, he was cuddling and kissing at night.
Mm-hmm.
The couples reconnect after all this. Sincere like drags Melanie aside and is like, why are you so mad? You explored with 2 guys and you ruined our romantic moment. All the other couples were just happy and I picked you and you weren't even happy.
Yeah, I brought you a flower. Like, how could you
He brought
treat
her a
me that
flower.
way? Like, Where did
Like,
you
you were
get
such
that
a
from? Like, yeah,
cliche.
from the garden
You
walking
picked it
in.
from the bushes. Like, you are such a cliche. You cheated on her insofar as you can do that in Love Island. You lied to her, you gaslighted her, and then you're like, "But I brought you a flower,"
I
and
brought you
then
a
you got mad
flower.
at me.
You embarrassed me. Look at all my dudes had like a nice warm reception from their girls.
Oh, God. Um, and she's like, "How many times did you kiss in Casa?" And he says, "A few." He
That's
can't
always that's
remember.
his MO. A few.
He was
Yeah.
kissing more than he wasn't kissing in
Yeah.
Casa.
He was kissing Amora pretty much the whole time. Casa.
Bryce and Trinity go to Soul Ties to catch up, and I don't have any notes because this is just wholesome, and I love
No.
them. And apparently that night, Trinity gets a French fry. So
Yay.
it's happening. Zach and Kata go to the speakeasy, and he admits that he kissed his connection 3 times in Casa, and they cuddled. And she's like, "I'm mad," but she is smiling, and she lets him lay on her, so she's not that mad. They talk about how much they miss their conversations, which he describes as him, quote, "telling her stories and facts and shit." Save Kata.
Yeah, like
He's like, "I
facts
love when I
about
mansplain to you."
England. Facts. Facts about England. Not true facts though. Not facts that, your connection left the villa. But yeah.
And
Fun
at
facts.
least she knows who actually owns his cat, and it's his family.
I love that.
Casey and TT are looking, I think, to distinguish themselves and find a niche as like the mean couple who just sits around and makes fun of everyone. They sit laughing about how ridiculous the recoupling was, and he complains more about how he was always reassuring Anaya. Like, that's called love bombing if you don't mean
Yeah.
it, which you clearly didn't. You were love bombing Anaya. And he's like, "Well, I didn't get my cup filled." Like, from what I'm hearing, sex.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm finally choosing myself. You could have done that at any time.
Yep.
So what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, "I was always a nice guy to everybody. Today I didn't give a fuck."
He's just, what's with this word too? He's just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck the whole time. I don't care. I don't care about anyone but myself.
The demeanor has shifted. He's got this like macho swagger now. Like, I don't have to act nice. He's literally like, I was a nice guy for 3 weeks. I no longer care about that. That is why you never trust a nice guy. It's conditional. It's all about using certain behaviors and words to get the rewards that you think accrue to nice guys. That's not true kindness. Like, maybe you were being nice, but you weren't being kind, and you're certainly not being kind now. That's not who you are. You're not a kind person. TT tells the camera she's proud of Casey, and she compares them to Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't.
But hear me out. I think she's right, because Romeo also dropped a woman that he had been love bombing the minute he saw Juliet, and dropped her like a bad habit, never spoke to her again.
It's true. You know what? Former books editor of HuffPost. You guys.
I'm telling you, like, Romeo's not all that. Also, I think this is also doomed, just like Romeo and Juliet, because she took like
Very doomed.
1 day of Casey's treatment and was already crashing out a little bit.
The poison is coming. It's coming
right.
soon.
They have a common enemy now. Like, it's them against the world, but I don't see this lasting for them.
No.
Anaya sleeps in Soul Ties. She's still crying. I think they let her go to sleep early, and so she's in Soul Ties crying while everyone is still hanging out. And this is when Melanie goes over to comfort her. And meanwhile, Casey is telling the guys that he would have talked to Anaya if her fucking friends weren't there. Like, he just
they were your
clearly feels
friends
so
too.
victimized.
Like 3 days ago. Like, I can't. Yeah,
I hate him.
It's bad.
Yeah. Bryce and Zach take a little break to like hump each other with joy that both of their girls picked them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
They really, like, the editors have just been tossing in a lot of Bryce and Zach content.
I just can't. I can't deal with it anymore. Zach tells Kata that night in bed while they're hooking up that he loves her multiple times. The next day he tells her this was a joke, and
Yeah,
she knows it.
But then he's like in his confessional, but I think I could get there probably. I was just joking around.
I was just
like
joking.
not a smart thing to do.
Are you
Joke around
dumb?
about love. Yeah. Yeah, he is.
No, he's manipulative, actually. Like, he's done this before. He closed off in the moment to like get that sort of like rush of like attention and affection from her, and then later he walked it back. It's like almost a form of like emotional negging. Like, he's keeping her still like trying to pursue that goal of him choosing her completely and then tantalizing her with it having already happened and then walking it back. He's keeping her in the state of
Mhm.
uncertainty.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I'm not
hate him.
feeling
The
this for
next
Kata. I'm not.
at all. It gets worse. The next morning, Gull makes Anaya breakfast, and I think it's absurd that none of her good friends from the
Mhm.
OG boys did this, to be honest.
Me too. She should have gotten 6 breakfasts.
She
Like,
should have.
everyone should have just made her breakfast.
Casey bitches to Caleb about how he cares about Anaya and he talked to her, but it's hard when the energy is hostile. I'm like, if you understand that energy can be hostile, then you need to examine your own energy
Yeah,
because it's
your
hostile.
energy is hostile. Like, very
The guys spend
hostile.
the morning working overtime to cover for each other's bullshit. Anaya talks to Sincere and Zach about how she thought Carl was so great, but she didn't want to bring him back to be a safe option. And Zach assures her that, like, Casey cares about her so much, which is infuriating because he's lying.
Mhm.
He knows that's not true.
I
Sh-
know. He's just which is another thing with Zach. Like, we're just seeing that. He's trying to just make the girls and Kata like him,
Yeah.
trust him. Like, he would never do something bad. He would never
Ugh,
lie, but actually he's just lying to you
he's
over
lying.
and over again.
The Casa guys fill Corbin and his piping hot coffee in on how much Carl liked Anaya. Like, they both like nerdy stuff. They're so similar. Corbin's takeaway is, oh, she kissed Carl more than once. And, like, yet she's mad at KC. Like, I got to
Yeah.
take this dirt back to my bros.
Yeah. She's exploring. She's up here exploring. Like, so is Casey. What's the big deal? Because that's what they
It's like
think.
he's
They
so,
think it's just tit for tat.
the glee that he found intel to, like, excuse Casey's behavior, I think is so telling that they know Casey fucked up and it's gross. Sincere and Zach are whining about how Melanie ruined Sincere's special moment returning from Casa.
Zach again, though. See, he's always just he's trying to get in the
He's
gossip.
always in
Just,
there
yep.
getting his.
Mm-hmm.
Corbin, Casey, and Sincere talk about Anaya and Carl, and Casey's like, she should have just picked the motherfucker.
I can't. He's.
I thought it was so important that she pick you, that it, like, destroyed your, like, people call Anaya insecure and say she needs too much reassurance. I've never seen a deeper display of insecurity than his reaction to her not picking him the very first day.
Yeah.
Like, deal with yourself.
But then she just picked you. She picked you
She
last
picked
night,
you.
and you have absolutely no remorse for her and her feelings and how she.
This, like, worked out perfectly for him. He got to humiliate her, and now he gets to be like, and it's her own fault, too. Melanie confronts Sincere again about everything he did in Casa because she's now starting to hear about it from TT. And he tries to validate her feelings and apologize and say he regrets it. And it's not working very quickly. She's like, don't just use up sorry as a band aid. Consider me first and don't do it. And he tells the camera that he's not the only one who messed up because she explored 2 connections by speaking to men.
Yeah. Mostly by talking to them. Just.
Like, they expose their own double standards by holding women equally accountable for much lighter and more respectful levels of exploration.
Yeah.
Like, if you think those are equivalent, you are exposing your own double standard. Then he says, if I don't do something, I'm the bad guy. If I do something, I'm the bad guy. Sincere, when have you ever not done something? You always
Just
do
always
it.
do something. Yeah, you're always doing something. Sincere. Just don't do it. Don't do
You're the guy who
something.
does something. Somehow that was the thing that, like, made me most want to, like, throw something at the screen. I was like, what do you mean when I don't do something?
You've always
Anaya
done
pulls
something.
TT to make up. She's like, I have nothing against you. I will have words for Casey because his speech was disrespectful. And TT says, I get it. I probably would have cussed him out more. I bet you
Really?
would.
Because you were like cussing out the girls the whole time.
Well, because she won, right? But if she
Yeah.
didn't get picked, she would be cussing him out more. So she sees the principle.
Yeah, if you're a loser, you know.
TT develops into, like, she and Casey are actually so similar and they do make a lot of sense together. They're fake nice to the girls' faces and then they go back and talk shit. Like, it's all disingenuous bullshit just to keep them socially comfortable. Then Jaden gets a text. It's the Shake Your Cakes challenge, and Megan Thee Stallion is back for a girls vs. boys twerking challenge again.
Thank God.
And
We
this time it's
needed
cake
Megan.
themed.
We needed Meg. We just needed the vibe shift. And she comes in just ready for cake, ready for booty shaking.
and she brings a little bit of insight into how, like, the Cossack girls and the Bombshells bring some insight because they've been seeing some of the show. But Megan has been out here. She sees the discourse, she sees the full show. She's like, Casey, we're not fucking with you.
Yeah. Basically all the boys. She's like, fuck you all.
You guys need to step it up.
Yeah.
So this challenge is unhinged and made me really worried about the women, medically speaking. It involves, first of all, a challenge which is like musical chairs, where they have to twerk until like the symbol or whatever, and then they have to sit on a cake.
On a cake.
They're wearing like
in a
thongs.
thong. Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to
cake
give them
is just-
infections?
Cake is just going on up there, you know?
I know the women are truly like, oh my God, I have so much cake like inside me. This is disgusting. Like they're going to get ill. This is not
I know,
safe.
and the boys get to wear like, you know, bathing suits, boxer shorts. Why can't the girls get a little cute little shorts
Right.
to protect their private areas?
The women have to have their ass cheeks exposed at all times. Safety is not a concern.
Yeah.
So TT wins the ladies round. Casey wins the men's round. Megan awards the point to the girls. These points are meaningless. There's no prize. The next round involves the men coming up with a grievance against someone of the opposite sex. They're all like in a fake cake with their heads poking out, and then the men get to like throw cakes in their face.
Yeah. Who thought of
Mostly,
this?
It's really degrading. Mostly these seem very chill and silly. Like the rationales offered are very chill.
Mhm.
But then when it gets more hostile, it's even more degrading and weird. Zach cakes Trinity for like yelling at him and being jealous of his connection with Bryce. I'm like,
I'm just like, okay.
Sincere cakes Jen for always having something to say, even though she's new. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was the girls who were cliquish, but it turns out it's the boys who kept pieing soul. It's the boys who voted her out. And now you're saying that Jen is not part of the family, even though she's been here for weeks.
Yeah, I'm like, she's not new, Sincere. She's been here for a long time. Like
Sincere is the problem.
yeah.
Then Casey comes up and makes this smug, smirking little speech about how he wants to cake everybody if he had more cakes. But especially Trinity for never shutting up. And his voice cracks.
And he
And
misses.
it's very embarrassing.
He misses.
And he misses.
Yep, that's what you
This is-
get. That's karma.
I love this. Trinity is like, he tried to come for me, but he has shit aim. And then she tells him, still you rise, I guess. He's got nothing. And I love this because he's got this like big performative tattoo from a Maya Angelou poem about like continuing to thrive in like a world full of racism and misogynoir. And he is just like disrespecting the shit out of a Black woman on this show
Yep.
with his performative little tattoo. She's like,
And then he has
okay,
no response
still you
because
he's got nothing.
doesn't know what to do.
Trinity says, of course, she defended her girl. And Anaya's like, yeah, he didn't have to disrespect me, which he's like, I didn't disrespect you. Megan the Stallion has to step in and be like, did you forget everything that happened in Casa? He's got nothing.
He thinks Megan was his fan. Like he was like, she
Right.
gets me. She gets me. And he was
He and Corbin, there's a scene where the part during the challenge where Corbin says like, oh, you like my shit? And she's like, Parmita likes your shit.
Megan.
Corbin chooses this moment to apologize to Kenzie by throwing a cake in her face and then being
Yeah.
like, now that I have your attention, I'm sorry for the comments I made, which were not nice. I was in the heat of the moment with the guys. You feel me? Boys will be
Again.
boys, I guess.
Yep.
But it was shitty. So why did you throw a cake at her? Like, what are you doing?
No, why? That was just, that was stupid. Because they don't have cakes to throw at any of these girls. Because again, the girls don't disrespect them the way they disrespect
Right.
the girls. So it's
That's
just all
the
like,
thing.
here, I'm going to throw a cake in your face.
Well, it just turns into like, I'm going to throw a cake in your face because I disrespected you and you held me accountable for that.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Because I'm a boy.
And I'm sorry. The girls get a giant frosting bag for their turn, and it's very messy. There's a lot of crossfire, but Casey is by far the top target. Anaya goes last, and he keeps trying to move around and dodge it. And Corbin's like, just take it, just take it. This is really emblematic of the different ways that they're handling this. Corbin is like, I will be forgiven and I will ride this out if I just accept the consequences like a
Mhm.
man. And
Mhm.
Casey is like ducking and dodging. Like, I didn't do
Yes.
anything wrong. Like,
This is
what
what
do
I was
why?
kind of mentioning before. Is Corbin like he might not be truly sorry, but he's trying to at least show effort. Like, okay, I'm the bad guy. I'll take it. And Casey is just on the defense over and over. He can't accept that he is scorned, you know?
Exactly. Megan chooses Kenzie and Zach for the final round, which is eating through a cake until they find a prize with their mouth. And Zach wins by finding a note that says, "Revenge is sweet." And this is the reveal that they will get to have their cake and eat it too, because America voted to bring back one Casa boy and one Casa girl. And Amora and Carl, the people's princess and prince, rise out of the giant prop cakes. I do have to say, after Sun and everything we've seen so far, I think Amora is my favorite Casa girl.
I love Amora. I really do.
Yeah, and
There weren't many
Carl,
options
obviously.
for Casa girls to come
Yeah.
back.
Jaden seems fine, I guess. We
Yeah.
don't hear much from her.
No.
Before she leaves, Megan tells the boys to step up the gentleman, and they're going to
Yeah.
step something up, but they're going to be stepping up their bullshit.
Yeah. Not the gentleman.
And this brings us to episode 24.
Look at us. We're moving along.
The guys and girls separate after the challenge to meet the new Casa people and catch up and just get it all done with so the women can go, like, douche the cake out of their butts, I guess.
Between the cake and the
Anaya,
hot dogs earlier this season, I'm like, what is it with the gross food challenges?
I know. And, like, it's really upsetting. Also, I like to eat cake. Can you just,
Let's
like,
hope the
not
cake
destroy the
was
cake?
good, though.
Yeah, I hope they at least got to, like, lick it off their faces. Anaya is just really excited Carl's back. She's like, I hope he can forgive me. One thing that I will say about Anaya and the girls in general is that they show a lot more self-awareness about how their actions affect other people and a lot more understanding of, like, the space they might need and the reassurance they might need to recover from moments of broken trust. She's like, I know
Yes.
that I hurt him.
And
We'll
it will
work on
probably
it.
take a bit. We're going to work on it. But
Carl's,
still, yeah, Dylan still
yeah,
has to
uh,
throw in a side comment that's like, yeah, you
make his
did hurt Carl. Make him breakfast.
right. What? Like, Carl is telling the guys that he was a little hurt, but he wants to pursue things with her. And the guys are like, well, she'll have to earn you back.
Yeah. With
Dylan's like,
bacon.
she'll have to cook you breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, you.
And even Carl's like, good.
Like, there's just, like, a gleeful vindictiveness to this where they're like, she should be punished. Like, not only was she humiliated and rejected and hurt by KC, she should also have to grovel before you, Carl. Like,
Yeah.
what if you just let them work this out like adults who just started dating?
Mm-hmm. They can't.
To the camera, Casey says he's so glad Carl is here so that Anaya can, quote, get off my dick.
Yeah. Because, Casey's really learning.
Charming.
He's bettering himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then he's like, I
he's
hope the
so-
best.
he
I hope
really
the best for
wants her.
Anaya.
That's right.
What?
Yeah, whatever. I feel like he really wants her to be obsessed with him, and he wants her to also be pissed with TT. Like, he wants them fighting over him. He keeps bringing up, like, oh, she's not going to leave me alone. Oh, I hope she's not mad at TT. She's like, I now don't care about you at all because of what you did to me, and I'm fine with TT. And he's like, oh, no, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, wait, no, please, keep fighting.
Sincere says he's trying to be 10 toes down for Melanie, and he's like, if they're like, well, Amora's back, and he's like, well, if I was to run into that down the road, I'm not going to be as reckless as I was in the past.
Run into what? That?
Run into what?
You mean Amora? Is she that? Like,
Run into the desire to explore Amora? Like, I don't know what he's talking about, but it still sounds wishy-washy. And
It
the guys
sounds
sense
like
it too,
out
because
of
they're
the
like, please
villa.
don't make 2 breakfasts.
Yeah, it sounds like he's talking about like, oh yeah, even when I'm out of
Yeah.
the villa, you can't send me too far away. But I've learned my lesson.
Yeah. Amora tells the girls she feels like Sincere used the experience as a hall pass from the villa, correct? And she says Zach had a time in the villa too, but he wasn't as bad as Casey. This really pangs Kata's radar because TT said that Zach was very well behaved. TT swoops in. She's like, "You're saying too much." She quickly pulls Amora. Kata doesn't get answers.
No, Kata like starts spiraling. Same way she does to a movie night, because she's starting to
Yeah.
realize Zach has not told me the truth.
Right.
And maybe, and I'm also like, you better go talk to Jaden. She's right here. She can give you all the info. These girls were
Yeah.
in Casa.
I know. Talk to Jaden.
Mhm.
Where's Jaden?
We
She's
don't
always
know.
just sitting there quietly.
We don't know.
Amora tells TT that Sincere is different in the villa, and TT tells her that he's acting like Amora didn't mean shit to him. He won't even look at TT in the eyes. She says that if he was claiming to be faithful to Mela, it wasn't respectful for him to kiss and rub up on Amora in bed in Casa. I thought this was fascinating because TT is describing, like, she's grasping how offensive it is not to be like called mean words or to have like explicit aggression, but just to be kind of ignored and disregarded in body language and just sort of a lack of regard, and how disrespectful that feels to the connection that you shared, right? That is what Anaya sensed when he returned from Casa that made her feel disrespected. People have been playing dumb about this on and off the show, but TT and Amora are recognizing it in this moment. We shared something. I thought it meant something. Why won't he look at me? Why is he acting like it didn't mean anything? That's disrespectful.
See, ladies, are you seeing what? Because they weren't used to being, in the villa or having people come in and out, and now they're seeing, oh, this connection comes back. This connection, we're both here, but he's gonna act a different way because that's the name of the game. That's how they move. That's how they think they should move, but they don't need to move that way.
TT says Sincere is the most toxic guy here. And I think that most is a very telling word here because they are defending the boys up and down, but they know that this behavior is toxic. Sincere is pulled by Amora, and she won't even give him 2 minutes to finish the grilled cheese he's making, which is such a power move, and I loved it.
I know. And he's like, wait, you gotta make sure to flip it. Make sure to flip it in 2 minutes.
She's like, I think he can handle flipping a grilled cheese. Yeah. Mela sees them talking and she kind of leans over to look at them, and you can hear Casey and TT laughing at her. Like, he says something about like, oh, dumbass, and like it's not totally clear if he's directing that specifically at Mela, but it definitely felt like it. Like, sometimes you don't know exactly what happens in the edit.
Yeah.
Or what people mean.
Like you mentioned before, those two are definitely laughing. They're Casey and TT are together just making fun of everybody behind their backs.
Yeah. Amora asks if Sincere has been honest with Melanie, and he claims he has, and she says that his decision went against what they talked about. She feels like a hall pass. She feels like a supporting character in the Melanie and Sincere show. And he basically just wishes her the best and then calls her big dog. She is so pissed.
She was just like, big dog? Yeah, not the move. At least she tells him. She's like, yeah, that wasn't it.
Crazy. Like, that's such an like a blatant moment to be like, well, I'm putting you in your place as you're one of the guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to treat you as a lady anymore.
But this is what why? When did this happen? Maybe with my 3 kids and motherhood and just, living my suburban life. When did we start calling our girlfriends bros and big dogs? And no, I don't like it. I don't want to be called bro.
Everything's a frat party now. I'm going to stop calling you bro now that I know that. See, communication is so important. Sincere pulls Melanie next for a chat and a grilled cheese, and she asks him if he really did use Casa as a hall pass, and he denies it because he wasn't that into it. And I guess for it to be a hall pass, you have to be really into it. Otherwise, it's just hooking up. He's telling them completely different stories about how into it he was, obviously. She tells him she's drained and doesn't feel like he's her safe space. And he says, but at the end of the day, I picked you. And she says, the prize is not being picked, it's being respected. She's like, I'd rather be respected and not be picked.
Which she's told him time and time again in different ways. Like, when I'm not in front of you, treat me like I am. Same thing. He's not getting it.
No, they're like, if you have the gift of me at the end of the day, what else really matters? Like, I gave myself to you. And
I also
so
just
you
made you a grilled
prize.
Cheese through my friend who finished it off, and you're not eating it. Like, that's what it was giving the whole time.
Yeah, it's truly. She tells him she's going to take a step back and see what he does. She's like, I cannot trust you in here. And if I can't, then how can I trust you outside? She can't. Like,
No.
I feel so bad for her. I think that Melanie is in such a tough position because he's the only guy she's really clicked with in the house. And as the time goes on, it gets harder and harder to branch off.
Hmm.
No one else is likely to come in at this point. Like, she doesn't have other options. He is her Love Island experience.
Yeah.
And so she either can, like, let him try to repair this or be single for the second half of Love Island. Like, she's
Yes.
doomed.
Be single.
Yeah. Like, I feel like she has so many factors keeping her tied to him. Then Sincere debriefs the guys on what happens and admits that he told Amora the truth, but not the whole truth. And the guys are like, don't do that shit, as if they know it's something he does all the time.
Yeah. Which they soon find out.
Oh.
He does do that all the time.
Yeah. Carl comes and pulls Anaya for a chat, and the whole villa applauds. And Casey claps along, but smirks and says loudly, "You've got a lot of explaining to do."
He's just such an asshole. I can't
Like,
with him.
the spirit is so mean. Like,
It's
that's
like,
the
you're
thing.
in trouble now, just like I was in trouble. Carl's gonna get you.
Right. I'm like, you understand that, like, you hurt her. You
Mhm.
don't get to then mock
Mock
her as she tries to repair her other relationship. That's crazy. Like, people say he's young and he, like, oh, it's so sad that he didn't get picked day one, and like he's really struggling and he has feelings too. I hope that there is something in there that can be salvaged from this. I hope he can learn and grow. But what I'm seeing is a very mean person.
Mm-hmm. Very.
And that's hard to change. They go to Soul Ties, and Anaya says she feels so bad. She doesn't know if he'll forgive her. And he says that he does want to keep talking, but the walls are up. And she's like, she totally gets it. She's like, I'm just so happy, clearly, that he even wants to try. Casey tells Corbin that this took pressure off his ass. He still wants to talk to Anaya and get his point across, but he's done with her and their connection.
Because he's still, like, have they talked at this point?
No.
No. They still haven't talked. It's insane.
And what's crazy is that, like, he wants to get his point across. Like, he doesn't want to communicate with her. He doesn't want to make things right. He wants to impose his narrative on her.
Yeah.
Like, you're not ready to talk to her until you're ready to understand that you need to hear out how she feels. And just because she said it to you doesn't mean you heard her out. So you still need to do that.
Yeah.
Jen and Gull are like an iced latte on the rocks. Yeah. Like Ian Sterling, I have no regrets. Jen tells him pretty straightforwardly, she's like, I feel no sexual chemistry. I don't feel like you like me. You don't compliment me. I feel like a second option. And she's right, but Gull isn't ready to admit this. So he's like,
Gull just, he's like, yeah, but you're not a second option. I just like, I don't really like to kiss in public.
Yeah, why don't we kiss behind a pillow? Yeah. He's like, I'm just not a touchy person. And she's like, well, I am. That's really important to me. And he says, well, we need to find a middle ground. And she says she wants to compromise. I'm getting alarmed. Like, we actually do need to open the schools because that is not an uncommon word for people to speak aloud.
Yeah.
People say compromise all the time.
And she says it twice, I believe. She's like, yeah, compromise. And he's like, compromise?
Was she realizing in real time that compromise and and the word spelled compromise are the same word?
Same thing.
Like, what's happening?
She's never uttered compromise in her life and she's just read it on the internet.
How is that possible? It's a very common word. But even though he's reassuring her to the camera, Gull is very wishy-washy about whether he wants this because he wants Kenzie. Kata confronts Zach about Amora's comment, which implied that he also did some gross stuff in Casa. And he says, at the end of the day, if I wanted to, I would have brought Alana back.
At this moment, I was just like, are you kidding me? He's just lying. He's blatantly lying. Like, this was the point you could have been lying. Like, yeah, I couldn't have brought her back anyway because, she was kicked out. But he continues this because he's trying to prove to Kata, like, I chose you. I chose you. I had no other option. I had all these options. And I've been giving him the
tiniest bit of grace because we did see him, like, say to Alana, I don't know if I feel totally right being open. I do miss Kata. I don't want to hurt her. Like we do see him making these statements that made me believe he was going to pick Kata anyway. Maybe it doesn't feel so relevant. But now he is explicitly lying in order to get credit for a choice that he did not make. Like he is using that to make a point to her that is invalid. So like no more grace for
No,
Zach.
no. Zach's on my shit list.
Ugh. The next day, Megan the Stallion's bathing suits arrive, and Carl is working hard cooking 2 breakfasts. But I will note he like brings Anaya her breakfast first with a little compliment. And when he brings the
Oh.
breakfast to Amora, he's like, "No one goes hungry in this house." And I'm like, I see who Carl's really going after.
Mm-hmm.
Kenzie asks Gall to make her coffee. The girls who are into Gall are always just like, "Make me a coffee.
Make me a coffee, though. Yeah, clearly the other boys don't know how to make coffee because
Yeah.
Gall's a true barista.
Zach and Bryce have a heart-to-heart, and Zach tells Bryce he's mad about Amora talking to Kata because she said some stuff that's not true. What exactly?
Yeah,
Seems
what's
like it
not
was
true?
accurate to me. Bryce tells him to validate Kata more. He's like, validate harder. Then Bryce says he's solid with Trinity and he wants to ask her to be his girlfriend. And Zach is like, that's actually crazy. Like, could you like fall in love with her? And Bryce says, isn't the point of this to fall in love?
There you go, Bryce.
Yes.
See? Just
Yes,
hearts forever. But it's not crazy, Zach, right? To tell
Trinity
someone you
gets-
love them in bed
It's not.
and then say it's a joke.
Yeah, that is crazy, actually. That's crazy. Trinity gets a text. She and Bryce are going on a date, and they get dressed up in coordinating hot pink from Megan's line. And Zach tells Bryce that's the man I fell in love with and encourages him to be open with Trinity about his feelings. They jet ski together, they hang out on a catamaran and have champagne, Bachelor style. And then we see them talking about their relationship and like their families, how well they're going to mesh together. And then she says that she always thought an older guy would be manipulative, but he's the opposite. And I have to say, more evidence that Trinity has a really good head on her shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's 22 and she's like, I know how older men are and how they use their power in relationships.
And she's like, but you like calm me and you respect me. And she's like, I'm usually a bit
He's actually
aggressive
one of the only...
and bitchy, but like not with you. You've really like changed me.
Yeah. I think that the like sort of feisty girlfriend and grounding boyfriend is a really solid relationship type, and I love that for them. I think they bring out the best in each other, and specifically she brings out the best in him, and I'm just won over at this point.
Me too. They also talk about legit things that will like impact them outside of the villa, whether it be dating outside their race, whether it be that he's older than her. Like these are all things you should be talking about instead of being like Corbin and Parmita and just being like, we're hot. We're going to make it. It's going to work.
They ever talk about being hot in cars together?
No,
that's
but
important.
They are hot in hot pink.
He asks her to be his girlfriend, and she squeals, and she's like, are you dead ass? He's like, yeah. And they kiss. It's very cute. I love them. Back in the villa, Corbin and Parmita talk about whether he's going to apologize to Kenzie, and he's like, I will. And what about a hug? He's like, maybe. He asks Parmita, hug or high five, which one works for you?
Like, what? Like, hey, Kenzie, sorry. Sorry I said you gave me the ick and that I never had any feelings for you, but let's high five it out.
Yeah, a hug, Parmita told me a hug doesn't work for her. She's my boss. They talk about how good they feel, and Parmita basically says she's not interested in exploring anyone else, and he agrees, and they're like, we're closed off.
This was nuts. This came out of left field. I was like, wait, what? Especially after she was just like, these girls think they own these men. 2 days, you know? You guys have been together for like 3-4 days and you're closing off?
Did they actually did they date before this? Like actually?
I feel like they definitely know each other. I think there have been a few receipts. Well, they say that they had Instagrammed each other once, but I think maybe there was a little
Was there more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is weird to like rush to close off after like 3 days. Corbin pulls Kenzie after this, and surprisingly, she agrees to talk with him. Zach is still waiting for his conversation, and he tells her he's sorry, he didn't want to embarrass her. She's like, well, you put me down in front of everyone. You tossed me aside. You claimed Parmita before you even talked to her. That's lustful as fuck. Which is true. Like, before he spoke to Parmita, unless they did have a pre-existing relationship, he was already like, I'm picking her. That means he was picking her based only on her appearance. Corbin tells her blankly that they weren't closed off, and Kenzie's like, that's not the point. You lied to me. You told me you had feelings, and you did not. It is so difficult for these men to understand. Kenzie says she wouldn't even be friends with someone who would treat her that way. She doesn't accept his apology. And as she walks away, he turns his head to smirk. These men are, there's something missing with these men.
Mm-hmm. Many screws are loose.
That's the thing that's crazy is like, and I think that's why Sincere has had a weird amount of like, from me, I've had a little soft spot for him. I think a lot of the women in the villa do. We see the shit he's doing, but it's like, at least he seems to care about my feelings. He might just be lying all the time, but he gives that he's caring about my feelings.
Yes,
He doesn't say nasty shit about me or other women. And so many of these men just do. They don't give a fuck.
They don't care. Corbin's only talking to Kenzie to be like, put a check, I did that. Got it done.
Exactly. Corbin goes and tells Parmita that Kenzie says that he was lustful towards Parmita. And Parmita's like, no, I don't think you're just dating me because I'm cute. We have way more in common. We also like each other's vibes.
Yeah, we have our vibes just mesh. You're not
and your vibe is just talking about how hot we are all the time.
Not that he called, he was going to get the cat before he even talked to her, but yeah.
Amora and Melanie chat, and Amora says their connection wasn't a blip, but it wasn't sexual. There were no hands in pants, lots of cuddling and intimate moments. And Amora says that with what they had, it speaks volumes that he chose Melanie. And I was a little disappointed that she kind of led this back to reassuring Melanie when I think Melanie needed to hear more about what
Their
a dog
connection.
he was.
Yeah.
Right. Amora says she wants to explore Caleb. Let's see some of that. I want to see Amora like have a hot girl summer.
Where is Caleb? I hope he's okay.
I have not seen hide nor hair of him these many days.
Nope.
Trinity and Bryce come back, and the girls and boys split to chat, and it's the traditional like they all huddle together, and they're both like hearing the news, and then they all scream. Trinity's like, I have good news and bad news. He didn't ask me to close off, but he did ask me to be his girlfriend. And they're like, ah! Bryce tells the guys, and they're all like, ah! They like all pat his back.
Very summer nights.
Yeah, always very like high school. And Trinity hollers at Zach, like, I took your man. And he's like, you can never take him from me. And I'm like, if one of you is going to get him, it better be Trinity because Zach will ruin him. Don't ruin a good man. They all get ready for that evening, and Carl tells Casey to chat with Anaya before the corrosion starts. Like, you can tell he's like, how is Casey still not
He's
tried
like,
to
how
make
have
this
you
right?
not spoken to her yet? Like,
yeah. Gall admits he's not into Jen anymore because she's asking him to be something he's not. He then asks Dylan if Kenzie has mentioned him, and Dylan's like, not for a few days, feeling good. Like, Dylan, think, why is he asking you that?
Yeah.
So Kenzie pulls Dylan at the start of the night. They talk about dates outside the villa. Maybe they'll have sex on a beach.
Some charcuterie.
And but she's like, I do want to talk to Gall because I want to see our vibe. Meanwhile, Gall is extricating himself from Jen by picking a fight. This was like out of a textbook, a psychology textbook. I'm scared.
Yeah, it was creepy.
He tells Jen that he feels guilty that she picked him, but he's not giving her what she wants physically. And he says he feels pressure. He feels uncomfortable talking to the other girls because of her. And she says, well, I've encouraged you to talk to the other girls. That's fine. And he says, well, they aren't open because of me. And she's like, yeah, that's just kind of that is how it goes in here. Like, it can be tough. And he's like, oh, when you had feelings, I listened to them, but you're dismissing my feelings. You're acting aggressive. Like, I feel like you're coming at me right now.
And I was like, wait, Jen didn't do anything, but she was just like, okay, yeah.
Literally, all you have to do is be like, the more I think about it, we're not aligned. Like, I just don't think that I feel our chemistry. I don't think that I can be the kind of partner you're looking for. Maybe we should explore elsewhere.
Or just say, I want to explore Kenzie. Like, I am into Kenzie. And I don't know if he's afraid because they're
Literally,
friends and like he knows their connection, but like that's what you want.
yeah,
So just tell her. Tell her you're not into her because you prefer Kenzie.
yeah. Literally picks a fight to make her the bad guy. Wild. And I feel like that's a theme of this season. The boys are so good at causing insecurity or upset or betrayal in the girls and then doing a full Darvo and making the
Hmm.
girls the villains.
Hmm.
They all went to the same fucking
School
therapist and learned all of the tools that they could.
and spelling and pronunciation.
Yeah. Casey finally pulls Anaya, and even though he pulled her, he refuses to talk first. Finally, she concedes and starts the conversation. I wish he would have just walked away because he
I
did
would
this
have
on
walked away. He
purpose
was
so
like,
that
he
he could
pulled
just,
her and then he's like, you go first. And she's like, no, you talk. You're the one that wanted to talk to me. And he's like, no, you
right.
go. You go.
He did this so he could just pick holes in everything she said and make himself the victim instead of straightforwardly owning up to what he did. And she tells him she was felt disrespected by his body language and the words that he used in the recoupling, the way that he wouldn't look at her, the way he wrote her off. And he tries to say that he wasn't allowed to talk. She's like, TT talked more than you. And he denies this. And she's calmly like, I was there. And
Hmm.
that's what happened. Dylan and Kenzie are watching, and Dylan says, I don't think he gives a fuck. And he's right. It's
Right.
so like they can tell. Everyone can
Yes.
tell.
He doesn't give a fuck at all. And he'll admit it to your face. Unless you're Anaya, he won't tell you to your face.
Yeah. Anaya points out that it would have been kind of noble for him to take accountability, but instead he played victim and tried to turn it on her, and he was a coward, which he did when he was like, the first day, no one picked me. That was making it about his own wounded ego
Hmm.
from weeks ago and trying to sort of blame her. Um, he starts getting agitated at the word coward. He's like, I don't like that word. I'm like,
Yep.
don't act like one.
Exactly.
She's like, you haven't even apologized. And finally, he's like, I'm sorry for all of this. Is that enough? And
No.
she's, no. First of all, no.
Yeah.
And second of all, she's like, if you say, is that enough? It doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah.
He says, well, I'm genuinely sorry for how I made you feel. I don't want you to think it was fake or that I didn't give a fuck. And she says, I do feel that way. I feel like you wanted something else. And he says, no, something else wasn't there yet.
Mm.
But then I met TT.
Yeah.
And then he says, I don't want it to be weird with TT. And she's like, I'm fine with TT. He wants her to hate TT so bad so she can be the mean girl, but
Yeah,
she's
but like,
not.
why? Why do you want this so badly? It's like sick.
He wants her to both to make a fool of herself so he can both feel wanted and also that she can look like the unstable, villainous,
Yeah. And
mean
she's
girl.
not. Anaya is not that. You're
She's
never
not.
going to make her into that.
And then he says that he wants to be friends. And she says, well, I can't be close to someone who made me feel so belittled. And you made me feel so belittled, Casey. I just don't think it will serve me. And she's like, I'm glad you apologized. We're cool. I wish you the best with your connection. And he's like, can we get one last hug? No, she doesn't want to be your friend.
Fuck no. I love it.
I don't hug strangers.
Fuck no. I was so
And then
proud
he
of her
says,
here.
now
though.
go get
So proud.
Carl. Yes.
And she's just like, leave me the
Setting
fuck alone.
boundaries.
I'm going to do whatever I want to do. He's like, yeah, you go get Carl. Like,
I don't know how more clear she can be that you are not friends. You don't get to like rib her about this new guy that
No.
you were just like fully delighting in her like degradation before. Like you were delighting in the idea that she would have to grovel to Carl. And now you're trying to be cute. Like, oh, we're friends. Go get your man. Shut
such an
up.
asshole. Yeah, just shut up.
Shut up. Kenzie asks Gall to chat, and Dylan's feeling weird about it. Zach tells Dylan it seems like Kenzie's never happy with someone. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that it was good to explore and that lustful people can find love, not when it's a woman.
Mm-mm.
They go to the speakeasy and eat sour belts, and Gall tells her he's not in a couple anymore. And she tells him she's interested in him, but she's good friends with Jen. This is what the men mean by the women being cliquish. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, they don't want to hurt their friends' feelings. You guys are the same way when the women explore. He asks about Dylan, and she says it's good. She really likes him, but I'm also feeling you, so I want to explore that. Zach and Dylan are just talking about how Kenzie's always exploring, and Dylan admits he'd be upset if she kissed Gall. And Zach makes a nasty little comment about how everyone gets mad at the guys for exploring, but she's doing it the most. Like, yeah, because she's the only girl who will explore out
Yeah.
of respect. And the men are all open to kiss whoever.
Yeah.
They would all be doing way more if they could.
Oh,
They made that
yes.
clear. Kenzie and Gall kiss in the speakeasy and lick tongues.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Mm.
And this brings us to episode 25, movie night.
We made it.
We made it. I can't. I'm not gonna make it to the end of this taping. After Casey and Anaya's chat, TT checks on him, and he's very hangdog, but he's like, it's fine. She feels how she feels. But the best thing is, she doesn't have a problem with you, TT. He's so gallant. He just cares about TT. He tells the camera that he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Someone was going to get hurt, and he's going to fuck up. But TT gets him.
She really does. Then TT asks him, laughing, what his reaction was to Bryce telling the guys he's a boyfriend. She seems like she's trying to get Casey to, like, mock Brinity.
Yes. She's fully like, what was your reaction to that? Like, they're getting ready to laugh at them together. And unfortunately, Casey is not playing along this particular time because he's like, I'm happy for him. He's actually, like, really feeling his shit heavy.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's actually happy, and I'm happy for him. And she's like, oh, yes, totally.
Yeah, she's like, wait, okay.
Carl pulls Anaya and asks what she'd do if money wasn't an issue. And she says she'd go live in the woods in a cabin. Another my side of the mountain girly.
Or travel the world. It's either like
travel the world.
absolute seclusion or
Yeah.
tourist adventure.
She wants to be outside. She wants to, like, here, there, wherever. And I love that. She tells him that the chat with Casey was good. They got out what she needed to say. And so did he. It's clear that, like, Anaya is kind of just like, I'm focusing my attention elsewhere.
Mhm.
And I will do the bare minimum to kind of get through. They agree that they're both feeling really good about each other. They make out, and she straddles him.
Mhm.
And Anaya's like,
in that
"Thank you, America."
bodysuit, too.
Oh, she looks hot.
She looks great.
I'm glad she saved this outfit for this revenge bodysuit
Mhm.
moment.
Mm-hmm. And she thanked us. Yes. Thank you,
I
Anaya.
did vote for Carl.
Oh, yeah. I immediately, I was like, Carl. Who else would you vote for? Corey?
Parmita asked Jen if Gall is stepping up, and she's like, "Ugh, he's a great person, but we don't mesh." And then Corbin quickly excuses himself so they can girl chat. And I was like, this is a very emblematic moment. The guys don't want to be friends with the girls. He's
No,
like, if you
yes.
guys are sharing, I don't want to be involved.
It was so funny because I like clocked it. I was like, oh, look, Corbin's in this girl chat. I love that. And then he immediately was like, I'll let you guys girl chat.
He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't care.
But Jen then says that Gall is a pussy ass bitch because he was scared the other girls wouldn't talk to him, and that's not her fault. They all agree that love should just flow. And this is when Jaden admits it's not flowing with Caleb because she's used to more dominant men.
But we wouldn't know because we haven't seen
them.
any of their conversations that are flowing. So I guess they just haven't been talking at all.
I guess. I mean, he's not dominating her enough. I was like, God, everyone is fucking something pilled.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it's distressing. Kenzie tells Dylan that she and Gall made out, and she realized her feelings for him by doing that. And Dylan gets really emotional. He starts to cry. He tells her he doesn't see the point of still exploring if they have something good. Kenzie comforts him, but she is shocked. She's like, we're not exclusive.
I
Right?
was shocked, to be honest. I was like, are you crying? Are you what?
Well, the girls have gotten so much shit for getting emotional when the guy they're coupled up with explores and kisses someone else because they're closing everyone down. They're being too restrictive. But most of the girls are not moving this way. And when one of them does, the men have the same or
Same
worse reaction.
Exactly.
She's
It's like
known
you weren't expecting it, but I also appreciated it because it was showing that, yes, he
Yeah.
has built a connection and he's going to get upset.
it's normal to feel upset, but like it's maddening that like there's so much shit talked about the women feeling attached to these men they've known for weeks. And he's known her for like a few days. And he cares. Like
Mhm.
it's actually very human. It's not just a character flaw of the women.
No.
So
and
he goes and
should
gets a
care because it is weird that she's like off kissing someone else, but it's also I have to say, like, at least Kenzie knew that would be like hanging over her head, like if she didn't
Yeah.
explore Gall, and she did, and she figured it out. I
She's-
kind of felt bad at like the fallout for Kenzie, because she's on Love Island. Like, I get
Yeah.
it, but she's the only girl really, truly, like, kind of
Yeah.
playing the
Well,
field, shall we
but
say.
she's like the guys too. She's like, well, when Melanie is exploring with Corbin, she gets pretty upset. You know, she, like the guys, expects to be able to explore, but not necessarily to have other people
Like, feel
make
the
her
hurt.
uncomfortable
Yeah.
by exploring. And that's my biggest critique of Kenzie. At least she's honest with them throughout this exploration mostly. Dylan gets a comforting hug from Kata and Zach, and he tells the camera that he feels stupid because he thought they had something real, and maybe she just shouldn't have made out with Gall if she didn't want him to feel sad. Sincere pulls Anaya to ask why she's so happy, and she gives him a little play-by-play of her hookup with Carl, and he's like, good for you. He says he's going to close it off with Melanie, and they're like, oh, I'm so glad we have each other and our beautiful friendship. This scene was obviously put there because of what she's about to see in movie night, which just breaks my heart because
I
she
know.
thinks these men are her friends.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, the men are irritable. Gall has to make breakfast for Jen, even though they broke up. Casey still doesn't feel like he got to express himself. Take up painting, Casey, you know? Learn the saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan is upset about Kenzie, although he did hook up with her in bed last night. Kenzie
Which we
always
saw,
gets
yeah.
some. Yeah.
And you know who else got some? Well, we know Trinity's been getting some French fries, but I love how Caleb was like, what is French frying?
It is DJing. They're
Yeah.
synonyms.
We've confirmed it.
Gall tells Carl that he thinks Kenzie might just like attention from multiple guys, and that's not sustainable. He wants to explore other women, starting with Amora. And Carl's like, I'm really starting to feel like butterflies again with Anaya. I'm really starting to feel good. Kata tells Jen about Kenzie kissing Gall before Kenzie can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is messy. Jen looks stunned. She's like, why did I have to find out from someone else? Like, I feel like she just likes attention. She always needs to have two guys, and it's not cute. Kenzie does pull Jen for a chat and bring it up herself, but the damage is done.
Mm-hmm.
Jen's like, I wish I didn't have to find this out from other people. We said we'd be transparent, but if this were not Love Island, we wouldn't be friends and I wouldn't trust you. Like, this is not behavior that I'm cool with. Kenzie gets really defensive.
I kind of felt bad, though, because I was like, but it is Love Island. So I don't think she would do this to you outside of Love Island, because
I hope not.
Yeah.
I felt like that was almost what she was saying, which is like, if our friendship continues, I need you to know now that I'm not going to be cool with this in the future. Kenzie gets very defensive, and she's like, I'm not a bad person or friend. Like, why? How could she be mad at me for exploring? But she does reluctantly apologize. I feel like this is one of the things that is frustrating me with this season, is that it's not just the job of people who are on the receiving end to be cool with being explored on. It is also part of the social strategy game to manage your exploration in a way that does not burn all your bridges. That's part of your task as the person who wants to explore. And if, like, you can't just sit back and play the victim when you hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
You actually also have to do the things, pull them for a chat first and be like, I really want to have like a deeper conversation with Gall, and like I might feel things out with the chemistry.
Which I feel like
do whatever
Kenzie
you need to
has
do.
Been pretty honest with, like,
Relatively.
she'll tell so-and-so, like, I did kiss him. And like the way she told Dylan about Gall, I respect it. I think she probably would have went up to Jen if Jen wasn't pulled first by Kata. Because Kenzie does seem to be keeping it pretty honest with what she's doing
relative to the men. Yeah,
exactly.
But it's still, I just get frustrated because I think that they're losing the skills of how to be honest, let people have their hurt feelings, mitigate, rebuild. That's part of the whole picture. It's normal to be upset. It's just human. Dylan tells Kenzie he doesn't want to get hurt again, and she's like, well, don't worry, I got reassurance of how I feel. I want you. I don't want to explore anyone else. I didn't see this coming. I kind of thought that she was gonna jump to Gall because she wanted to explore him so bad.
I guess that kiss wasn't very good. Maybe
well, he's not a physical
coffee breath,
person.
you know.
Sincere tells Mela how to do her name in sign language.
He's bringing, now it's like, I feel like the sign language has been brought up multiple times since he told Amora.
He used the same move with Amora.
Yeah.
Gall and Amora also connect and chat about their oddest jobs, oil field worker and bikini server girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to go well. He's really feeling her. Then Melanie gets a text. It's movie night.
They got way too excited for like, no, don't you guys know what movie night is? They're like, woo!
I know, you should all be barfing right
Yeah,
now.
I feel like I'd be
Um,
hiding.
The reactions are definitely telling. Casey, Corbin, and Zach know they're in trouble. I'm sorry. This is an admission of guilt. They know that they are in trouble because they know what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Zach immediately starts telling Kata, hey, just remember that I chose you. I did a flirty chats. I kiss girls. It's fine. And Kata's like, ew, stop talking to me. Melanie asks Sincere if he wants to tell her anything before she sees. And he says, no, like, of course not. You dumbass. This was
Because
your
he's
last
living in
chance.
sincere La La Land. He like
Yeah.
forgets all the shit he did. Like
He doesn't think that it's wrong, and so he
thinks what
forgets to remember
yes.
that it happened.
Exactly. He thinks he told Melanie the truth. He's like, oh, I
Yeah.
told you everything. So
It just
nothing.
wasn't the whole truth.
Yeah.
Overall, the boys seem really worried about the girls seeing what they said. Interesting. The girls are apologizing to each other in advance because they know they probably talked some shit about their rivals. The Islanders walk the red carpet. Jen has her horn-rimmed glasses on for some serious cinema viewing, which I enjoyed.
I love
They
that.
sit on their opposite couches, the boys and the girls, and the clips begin. The first clip is Zach talking to Alana about their cats. And Kata's like, bitch, it's your family cat. She knows him. And it shows also Kata's reaction to getting the postcard and breaking down. And Zach is like, obviously I apologize, but like, you don't see the context that I like told Alana about how good the connection was, and I wish I could take it back. And she is sad, but she kind of like, she's like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd rather be here with you being annoyed with me than not be with you. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. And the girl, I feel like the Casa girls too are like, he really was thinking about you.
Everyone's jumping in to be like, he was
Yeah.
talking about you all the time. But she's like, I was really respectful and you weren't. So like it hurts. The second clip is KC before Casa. And that's how we know we're about to get crazy. This is so long. This goes on forever. And I think
Casey's
Sincere's clip later is even longer.
He's squirming too. He's like, he knows.
He knows. Do not try to defend him. He wasn't disrespectful. What did he do? He knows. He knows what he did. He's watching each clip and he's like, this is bad for me. This is bad for me. I'm being an asshole. This is bad for me. And then like the whole clip ends. It's like all the shit he talked about her not putting out, being grandma, being with her is like a fucking job. He feels so restricted. He's ready to explore after Soul left. All the kissing of TT and Sydney. Like all of this stuff that he said. Almost all the stuff that he said in Casa, that she's on a thin ass line. It's all wraps
or
up.
Anaya. Like I just the whole time I'm just like, if I was Anaya, devastation. Like just here, it's not even like that. It's like anyone could have said that stuff about you. Like hearing someone call you a grandma because you don't like, you know, cuddle and make out in bed. Like I really hate KC. I hate him.
It's just, it's contemptuous. He has contempt for her. Like, this is like one of the top predictors of divorce, and they haven't even had years to develop this kind of this kind of dysfunction. He has contempt for her. It just jumps out, and he can tell. But then there's fucking Corbin smirking like an idiot and being like, well, what did he say was disrespectful, though? Can you tell me? You guys are so disingenuous when you use this line, and so is Corbin. Look at Casey. He knows. TT is also smirking like an idiot the whole time. Like she's like
biting her nail. Like, I was
oh,
like, are you into it? Or I'm not sure how she was feeling about it.
Yeah, because he picked her. It's the love story of our generation. It's Romeo and Juliet. Anaya tries to stop Casey from even apologizing. She's like, I don't want to hear it. But he insists. He wants to get his point across, I guess. He apologizes, but he's like, I'm expressive. You know, there's good shit in there too. The OG girls are all livid. They're like, this seems to show that you were being a coward. You were playing it safe the whole time. You didn't really have feelings for Anaya. Mella's like, I think you just used her. And they're right. And that's why so much of the audience felt that way, because we were seeing this.
Yeah.
Trinity points out that everything he complained about with Anaya was lust. that she just wasn't doing sexual things with him. And he could have cared enough to get to know her and let the relationship grow until she felt ready for that.
Usually how relationships work. If you truly want a true relationship that's
Yeah.
respectful and full of love, and like that's what you do. Like that.
Yeah. No, but he feels entitled to have access to the women that he's with sexually immediately.
Yep.
Clearly. Anaya is also furious at the other dudes. They've been like, she's like, you were all in there bigging him up while he was doing this. Bryce tries to jump in and defend himself. He's like, all I know is what he told me. He told me he had been honest with you about these things. And like, yes, we can all agree the way he said those things was not beneficial. I don't think it's a positive thing at all.
Bryce, at least he's trying to be like, yeah, it was bad. It's really not beneficial for this group at all. But he's the only one that was like, because I was like, sincere, you better speak up because
yeah,
you're one of those friends that didn't tell Anaya any of the truth. You kind of just lied to her face.
She thought they were very close. Like, I would feel so cut to the heart by that. And Bryce sounding like he's like a very beleaguered PR rep or something. He's just like, yes, well, we can agree that while the wording may not have been the most beneficial, shut up, Bryce. Like, you're part of this. Trinity's not pleased. She's like, you all knew he wasn't into me. No one told me I look like Boo Boo the Fool. And Zach is like, well, it wasn't our place to get involved. Zach, you're involved in everyone's relationship.
Yeah, I'm like, you were always involved. What are you talking about?
That's your hobby.
I think it hurt her more to see like how the guys knew much more and didn't tell her the truth than all the Casey stuff, which she kind of knew anyway.
Well, that's the thing. She saw more from Casey. It must have hurt, but like she knew that he sucks now. She received that information. She's like, I'm done with him. Fuck him. She still thought these guys were her friends. TT then calls out the guys, I think, for not standing up for Casey. Like, Anaya receives this like TT is helping her out, but I think TT's motivation is to be like, you're not backing up your friend. You all pulled me aside and said he seems so much happier with me, and now you're backpedaling. She's like, you all knew that I'm better for him. Why are you pretending that you might have thought Anaya was just as good?
And Anaya, you're right. She definitely was like, oh, she's like helping me out here, but she wasn't. She was talking to the guy. She's trying to be like, stand up for me. See, I am the better choice. So you guys said that in Casa.
I think Anaya and the OG women work really hard to read the best into everything the Casa girls do because they want to have solidarity with them and they want to be like united as women and caring for each other. And TT's taking advantage of that because she's playing them. Casey tries to protect his friends by being like, I'm the one who said the things that were wrong. Like, leave them alone. She's allowed to be mad at them too.
Yep.
They're her friends and they fucked her over. He's also like, half of these clips were after us arguing. And Trinity's like, oh, so whenever you argue, you'll say things in the heat of the moment that you don't mean. Childish. This all ends with the Casa recoupling, and Kata clocks that Alana wasn't there. This is so hilarious to watch her process as they're all arguing about the Anaya stuff. She's going like,
where's the angel?
Wait, but if she wasn't there.
Where's the angel? And her poor face,
The Casa girls confirm. I know. She's like, The Casa girls confirm that Alana left early. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. She's like, oh, I thought you knew. I think that was Jaden, right? I thought you knew.
Zach tries to get everyone to defend him. He's like, I told everyone that I wasn't going to bring her back anyway. Like, I already knew. But he seems really aggrieved that this was a clip. He keeps being like, I knew this was going to happen. She was going to forgive me, but now it's fucked. I knew this was going to happen.
Well, you should have told her. You should have just told her the truth. Like, what?
Telling the truth is like 100% foolproof method of never getting caught lying.
Yeah, he was basically like, you producers screwed me over by showing the truth of what happened in Casa.
What do you think this show is for? Like, what? Why do you think the production is going to protect you? Like, what are you talking about? Kata keeps being like, it's just weird that you didn't tell me, though. It's weird that you didn't tell me. It's pretty weird. And it's true. He tried to get currency in their relationship out of a choice that he didn't even make. It's weird. He used that. Then the Casa girls really try to be like, but he really was going to choose you. And finally, she's like, okay. Like, she drops it.
Yep.
I hope that she doesn't drop this in the long run because this is her getting a real glimpse of how sneaky
Yep, he
Zach
is.
is. The next clip is Anaya and Casa saying she can play the game 10 times harder because she's tired of feeling like a stupid bitch. The girls are like, he's fucked around with your feelings for the last time. And she's like, yeah, I'm ready to be open and explore, just like he is. We see her exploring with Carl, kissing him. She says Casey's not putting her feelings first, so she wants to indulge. The Casa girls and Zach and Sincere are immediately like, the double standard is insane.
Meanwhile, Carl's like sitting next to
What?
Zach, and he's like, the double standard, right, mate? Like, no, not at all. It's
No.
not the same. She is
These
exploring
pictures,
again in a completely different way than KC. And she didn't speak badly of KC. She was just like, I'm going to explore. I'm going to see like what I can get out here because I am looking like an idiot sometimes with KC because he's making me feel like I'm not the one.
my heart
That's
rate is
different than being
elevating.
like KC is a asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I I like the way that they are so down on the women for being too prudish and not wanting to explore, but then when they explore in the most textbook, respectful, normal way, they're like, you're just as bad as the rest of them.
See,
Like,
you guys are the same.
the double bind of womanhood right there. Um, so the women are like, first of all, this was after the heart rate challenge where she saw what was going on. And secondly, she didn't say anything disrespectful. She was just trying to like explore respectfully. And they're like not wanting to hear that. I don't think they understand the concept of respect as applied to women. They're like, women are not to be respected. That's not relevant to this situation. Sincere tries to come after Anaya and is like, if your video had been shown first, the emotions would have been the same.
What?
And the only difference was the disrespectful comments. I'm like, yes.
Like, yes. She's like, exactly the problem.
Yeah, the only difference was the horrible thing that he did to you, and you're mad?
No, she's like, it's fine that he explored and whatever. TT and him have a connection, but he, like, the way he did it was not good. Like, I didn't move that way. He did. He
Yeah.
disrespected me.
And that's
You
the
just
problem.
said it, Sincere. You just said the problem.
It's like if you like rented an Airbnb and you message the owner and you're like, everything about this property is wonderful except that the pool is full of poop. And the Airbnb host comes over and they're looking around and they're like, I don't understand what you're saying. The beds are perfectly made up. The kitchen is clean. The only problem is that the swimming pool is full of poop.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
Yes,
that's
that's
literally
why
exactly my complaint.
I rented this place for the poopless swimming pool.
And I'm saying it's not there. It was in the listing. Like, what are you talking about? They're stupid, I think, or like they're just so desperate to excuse their behaviors and justify them. Zach starts saying that when Casey first walked in with TT, she hadn't seen that yet, and yet they all started shouting at him. And I think what the guys and many of Casey's defenders refuse to understand is that they saw the switch up in the live of the first night, and they also saw the switch up in his energy and the way that he spoke about her in person. It doesn't have to be him calling her names. It doesn't have to be her seeing these clips for her to tell that what he had been presenting to her before was so completely gone that it seemed as a mask had been pulled off, and that is very confusing and destabilizing.
Yes.
TT also hops in and is like, yeah, you were just mad he found a connection. You would have been mad no matter what. Well, we'll never know because that's not what happened.
You're making stuff up now. We don't. This is what happened. We're just talking about the problem.
This keeps escalating. They're all yelling over each other. Casey finally stands up and starts being like, why would I check on you when you had all the support and everyone was coming at me? TT had no one cares about TT, first of all. No one's coming for TT. Calm down. Anaya is furious. She stands up as well and basically shouts him back down into his seat. She's like, I was standing up there crying and you stood up there and you fucking laughed. Like, it's not that just you didn't check on her. It's like everything about the way you behaved made it so clear that you didn't care how she felt.
Yeah. And now you're standing up being like, oh,
I'm a big man. Like,
she's like, sit the fuck down. I love it.
Sit down. Rise down. The next clip is Sincere and Soul talking
When
in
you
Say
saw
Less.
Sincere and Soul show up on your, like, I just knew. I was like, oh, Melanie.
It's about to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
The cinema that they did with Casey and Sincere's packages was incredible because it's
Mm.
so many clips edited together so well to really show the way that we're seeing it at home, just how inconsistent and dishonest they're being to really expose the pattern of behavior. We see like everything he did going back and forth between Sincere and between Melanie and Soul, saying different things, making promises. Sincere, like, you know, saying with Soul that what I feel with her is something I haven't felt since I've been in here. Whereas when he's been with Melanie the whole time, uh, we see him telling Melanie that he won't keep kissing or exploring Soul. And then later that day, it's kissing and exploring Soul. Sincere calling them both beloved.
Yes, he called them both beloved. He called Soul like his soulmate. Like, he was up there too.
Yeah.
After that Melanie conversation, I forgot they went upstairs for like hours.
Yeah.
After he
Yeah.
told her, I'm done exploring.
Yeah.
She doesn't mean anything to me.
Wild. And saying like to Soul, like, this is what I want at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this I remember is back when lo these many days ago. This is when everyone realized Soul Sincere sucked. And I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do this. I knew from the first Melanie crash out that Sincere was the reason for it. And people gave him a pass because he's so sweet and charming. And she's the problem. She's crazy. It seems like a lot of people in the villa still thought that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why people are like, why is Casey getting more heat than Sincere? I think a lot of people still are like, well, Melanie drove Sincere away, and now they're trying to piece things back together. When you look at the pattern of what he's done, that is not what it looks like. It looks like he's been
No.
gaslighting the fuck out of
Out
her.
of her the whole time. And she was smart enough, to be honest, to sense that. She didn't have to see everything she's watching right now to know, like, she knew in her gut that something was off. Yet everybody in the villa, well, the guys thought, oh, Melanie's crazy. She's acting nuts. We all knew
Yeah.
at home. And so Anaya, when Anaya's like reassuring her, like, baby, see, you're not crazy. Everybody
Yeah.
loves you. Like, you're a strong woman. Like, this is, and she's just sitting there quietly, like tears coming down her
Tear stain.
face.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And like they're all shocked. And what I really noticed is that Anaya is like, see, you're not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Melanie says, I know. I always
Mm-hmm.
knew I wasn't crazy. And what that seems to me to be suggesting is that Anaya thought Melanie was crazy. Like she loves Melanie, she cares for her clearly, but she thought Melanie was the problem.
Well, because she was
They
bamboozled too by Sincere. Like, just their
they
friendship. Everybody
all
thought Sincere was like
yeah.
this, you know, empathetic, kind guy, and he was just exploring with Soul. But like, he was telling Soul the same things he was telling Melanie, and then
Yeah.
promising Melanie things that he wasn't holding up to.
Yeah. Something that drew a little bit of controversy is why Sincere didn't get yelled at in this moment. And I think there are a couple things going on here. Like why was Casey yelled at? Poor Casey, but not Sincere. I think a couple things. One is that they are all completely shocked.
I
So
was
many
gonna
of them
say,
clearly
everybody's
believed
shocked.
the entire spin he had about Melanie. They're all like, what the fuck? And part of that is the guys are not defending him.
Yeah, the guys
And I
are
think
even
that
like,
lowers the temperature here.
mm-hmm.
The women don't feel the need to come after him as much because there isn't a united front of people being like, oh, but like actually there's excuses. There's reasons why he's not so bad. No one's got shit to say.
No.
I think another thing is in the editing. Some people noticed that Melanie already has her tear stains in the KC clips, but she does not have them at the start of the Sincere clip. This was probably aired for them at the beginning before the temperatures had really risen. And I think we're seeing a building, actually, it's out of order, but we're seeing this building realization among the women that the men have been like disrespecting them so completely, have been lying to their face, have been playing them, and they don't care about them. And like all of the women are affected by that. And it must be really hard to sit through that.
And the
Like, we're
guys
not
too, like
friends.
realizing that Sincere was
Yeah, they're
sort of
shocked.
lying to them too. Like, they assume such
Yeah.
a different scenario, especially with Saul.
Yeah.
And I always felt for Soul. I really did, because
Mm.
we all saw what was happening.
Yeah. No, I was a little hard on Soul, I think, because I felt like she was okay with it as long as it was happening to Melanie and not her. But he was lying out through his teeth to
Mm-hmm.
her. Absolutely. Like she got played just like Melanie did. Um, and Sincere has nothing to defend himself with either, to be honest. He's just like, everyone knows now I tend to say a lot and it really means a little bit.
Mm.
Imagine saying that about yourself.
Yourself.
Like,
At least he could admit it,
that's
but
like the
it's
nicest thing he could say about himself,
but I'm
but at least
also
he could
like,
admit that.
I'm worried for him. Like, but why? What is the root? Like, why are you always doing this?
Right.
Because you did it with Amora
I've seen-
too, which I was curious to see Amora's
Yeah.
reaction, because she kind of went through a similar thing. Like, he
I
did the
think we'll
same
be-
thing.
I think we'll be getting to that. We haven't seen the Amora clips yet, but they're coming. And I think that's the other thing. I think we're going to see Sincere get yelled at. We just haven't gotten to
Well,
a second.
yeah, I think in like the preview, right? Melanie was
Right.
as
Yeah.
she should be. Like,
We're going to
you
get
can
to the
only
yelling.
take so much. You can only take so much. Just like this
Yeah.
episode, we can only talk about so much Love Island.
Yeah. Sincere, he tells to the guys like, oh, they're gonna pull old clips. Like he thought that he was off scot-free on this or something. This was like 2 weeks ago, dude. Like finally Melanie says through tears that she doesn't have anything to say and just wants to play the next clip. Like she's just drained. She's got nothing here. And Anaya tries to comfort her and be like, well, America was seeing something. They don't hate you. That's not why they broke you up from Sincere. And the sad thing is, I think at the time, America also did hate Melanie and thought that she was driving Sincere away. And I hope that everyone has now realized that they're wrong, because I think Melanie
Yeah.
is one of the like biggest hearted people and one of the people who works the hardest to handle everything that's happening with emotional regulation and grace.
Yes, and everybody else's stuff too, not only herself, but the way she took care of Anaya and the way Anaya is taking care of her in this moment too, being like, you're beautiful, you are seen, you are loved.
Yeah.
Like that's friendship, and that is probably what Melanie is going to walk away from the show with, because I don't see how she could like ever trust Sincere after this.
No one should trust Sincere. He should never date again, like after this. I don't know how you fix that level of pathological lying. And I've seen it called people pleasing, but he is not people pleasing.
No.
He's pleasing himself. He's using those
Yes.
words to get what he wants.
And he's believing his own narrative. It's scary.
Yeah. It's scary. I don't like to write anyone off. Again, they're young, but like you do see patterns of behavior that you're like, this is really hard to fix and deeply rooted, and I'm concerned. Yeah. And that's the end of this batch of episodes. Thursday night, Kenzie will be on deck. Sincere's recoupling at Casa will air. It's going to get really rowdy again, I think, and there's going to be a lot more to say next week. But until then, that's it for this episode of Love to See It with Emma and Claire. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Love to See It is a presentation of Odyssey. The show is produced by me, Claire Fallon, and Emma Gray. Our production assistant is Tatiana Knie-Smith, who also edits our video. This episode's audio was edited by John Bahar. Our theme music is by Tamar Habib, and our art is by Aaron Nestor. If you like the show, please follow the show, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. And of course, tell all your friends about our show. If you want to get in touch, you can email us at claireandemmapod@gmail.com. You can also find us on TikTok at Love to See It Pod and Instagram at Claire and Emma Pod. And you can find our newsletter, Rich Text, on Patreon at patreon.com/richtext. We are also on social media. I am on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads at Claire E. Fallon. And I'm at Leigh BZ. Special thanks to the team at Odyssey, Eric Donnelly, Peter Ariaga, Kate Rose, Moira Curran, Melissa Wester, and Hillary Schiff. We'll be back soon with more Love Island.